like we're good. We got volume. We'd like to ask around a little bit first. Woohoo! Oh, we got a new person in chat. Welcome, J. Matthews, and everybody else. Welcome to How Doomed Are We? On our first live episode, playing the Soulbound RPG. Very excited for this. We've been diving a little bit into character creation, and players have been taking a look at what they might want to do. Very, very excited to get started with this and check out some more of the Mortal Realms here. If you want to see some more of this, check out patreon.com/professionalcasual, where we have our first 3 episodes up, where we played the Fateful Night adventure, and we'll be adding our playthrough of the holdouts as well. Wow, yes. They got it just before you turned it off.
Yeah, I was like in the process of turning it off.
Oh, thanks. That's cider drinker, right? Drunk on cider?
Yeah.
That was great timing. But to get kind of a feel for what we got going on here, we are kind of starting over from scratch with this. With those other adventures, we use pre-generated characters. So today we're going to be focusing on character creation with 4 all-new characters, our Soulbound, unless somebody plays a Stormcast Eternal, are kind of with the group but outside of it a little bit. I think we have some ideas of what we might be looking for around the table, and then if time permits, we might start a little bit into the adventure, get a little feel for what's happening there. So before we get in too far, I want everybody to introduce yourselves. A lot of people here are pretty new to the network. Some people may have seen your faces on those videos on Patreon, but obviously Dan, known as the Bad GM, thanks to JB for that moniker, from A Grim Podcast, A Perilous Adventure. And yeah, I'll be running these weirdos through the Blackened Earth campaign once we get started. So let's go around the horn. We'll start with my left, which is my bottom left of the screen.
Hey everyone, I'm Rachel. I guess I'm probably just Rachel in the chat or whatever it is.
Just Rachel.
Hi, I'm Jess, affectionately known as Red Jess with the red hair.
Mike.
Should we call you Red Mike because you also have red hair?
We're all
I'm Tim.
They're very new to the network. Nobody
Yeah,
knows
brand new,
who Tim is.
fresh face.
no one knows you.
No one wants to know me. There's a difference.
A little concerned with Tim's lack of role-playing experience and recording experience. But yeah, we are real excited. So first thing for character creation we're going to look at is, of course, if people have chosen an archetype. So in Soulbound, you can create a character completely from scratch, build up your the attributes and skills and talents and all that, or you can choose an archetype, which essentially takes units from Age of Sigmar and Warhammer games and puts it into like a character concept that gives you a lot of like starting skills and talents and gear. So does anyone have one that they are pretty decided on or close?
I mean, I've been working on one. Yeah.
So what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the branch winch, which is in the Savannahs. So.
Oh right. So if you look back to the Fateful Night, Mike was playing the Kurnoth Hunter pre-generated character and kind of fell in love with the Sylvaneth and their lore. Pretty cool stuff. So looking at a branch witch, which gives us a caster.
Yeah, looking to try
as well.
And actually, from what I'm looking at and everything else, I'd be technically caster / support. Because a lot of this, since she has, if I'm reading this right, the Jade magic has a lot of stuff to do with like giving buffs and healing. So
very cool. So we are going to be trying to use Foundry as much as we can for this. Foundry has a dope module for Soulbound and anything. So I just opened up Mike's character sheet on there and dragged in the Branch Witch. And now you have all the starting stuff for the Branch Witch.
sweet.
Which is really cool.
Okay.
Any other ideas out there, things that have popped out to people?
I'm considering a Doom Seeker.
Oh, nice. We'll get our first Slayer.
I think this sounds fun.
So, and
Glory.
at this point, if players, if you don't have a definite archetype in mind, we can kind of talk about what kind of character are you interested in playing, and we can find an archetype that fits that. So Doomseeker, do you want me to put that on your character sheet now, or are we still?
Well, my other consideration was the Black Arc Corsair.
Oh,
the one I
nice.
said
That's the
seemed
pirate
like
one,
a
yeah.
pirate
That one
and
looked cool.
sounds fun. But if you want to do that, I can seek my doom.
Okay. I was looking at that one, so maybe together we can be the slayers of the group.
Seek fortune and glory.
Fortune and glory. It's fortune and glory, kid.
Alrighty, I'm already making note of what characters I might need to heal.
I was thinking that. I was like, you're going to be like, let me heal you. And I'm like, no, no.
Don't heal the Doomseeker.
Only-
They're only after
Stop.
combat.
Stop struggling and let me put this band-aid on.
All right, so I'll grab that Black Arc Corsair onto Rachel's character sheet for now. We can always change it if you change your
Nice.
mind. And then Tim, got any ideas?
No. I didn't get around to looking at the book. Can I play an orc?
No.
Can I play 2 orcs?
No.
All right.
So,
Half an orc.
so Soulbound,
Sorry.
in the game of Soulbound, yes, there is a book called Champions of Destruction that has rules to play as Aurochs, Grats, Troggoths, all that kind of stuff. We are sticking to Champions of Order, mostly the Soulbound core book. Trying to switch those up, but there are expansions that you play as Champions of Destruction. There's a Champions of Death as well, so you could play as a whole party of undead. And I don't think it's out yet, but there's also a Champions of Chaos coming if you wanted to play an all Chaos party.
That sounds
which
pretty
sounds
dope.
sweet. The main reason I said we're just going to stick with characters of Order is that we are doing a published campaign by Cubicle 7, Blackened Earth, which is written for Champions of Order. It wouldn't really make sense to have a bunch of Aurochs and Grats running around doing these same things. But if you want to play those kind of characters, you definitely can in this game. So right now we have a caster, Lore of Life. So sounds like restorative and support mostly. We've got the Doomseeker, which will probably be more of the tank. Sweet body
Driving
stat of
force.
4. And then we have the Black Arc Corsair, which I think will be more of like the striker. They're a little bit tanky. They get some armor
More finesse.
and some cool stuff going on. So there's a lot of choices you got there. There's still most types of character are available.
What's an Aether Chemist?
So I was playing around with Foundry testing it out. So I just trying to figure out how to get the archetypes onto the character sheet. So that was just the first one alphabetically. That's why it's on your sheet right now. But they're pretty cool. They are the Sky Dwarves, the Caradron Overlords. That kind of, Ether Chemist is kind of what it sounds like. They're going to be working with a lot of they'd be like the tech person.
Gotcha.
So similar to when we did the Fateful Night, you played the, I think it was a Skyrigger,
Yeah, I believe so.
where you had the floaty balloons above you, and you had like a drill gun and stuff. So like the core skill for a Ether Chemist is crafting, and your core talent is Ether Chemist Guild member, which doesn't tell us too much just from the title, but you get an Ether Chemist rig. So I think you do some like quick alchemy type stuff. You get chemist kit and formulae, a bunch of materials for crafting. That's really cool. Which makes a lot of sense to fit into the party potentially. So let's see, Ether Chemist Gould Master? How about Guild Master? You can take the Ether Craft endeavor to create etheric devices. That's pretty cool. So yeah, make stuff.
Gotcha.
We need
Trying to
a
get Mike's
maker.
camera back online. So I didn't listen to any of that. What did they do?
I forgot.
You're fired.
I forgot your inability to multitask like that when you're trying to figure something out
Is
technology-wise.
there anything more like roguey, like stabby roguey?
Sure.
Stabby rogue.
Stabby roguey? Or shooty roguey?
Dabby, roguey.
I don't want to get too
shooty.
technical.
So trying to think what would fit there. Probably maybe like a witch elf, or
Yeah, that sounds good.
I almost hate to recommend it, but a trade pioneer is like a person, they're a human that kind of fits whatever role. They get a bunch of different, they can be built a bunch of different ways, but a witch elf would also be pretty cool. Because their core skill is weapon skill. They also get blood frenzy, so I guess that's really more of a...
That sounds dope, though. No, I'm in.
I feel like you just
That was
you
easy.
just want something and
What?
you don't really care.
No, that's not. No, I care. I care a lot. I care about this witch elf.
Okay. How
And
about...
you don't even know what it is.
So if you want to be more roguey, stealthy, backstabby, there's the K-Knight Shadow Stalker from the Champions of Order. Their core skill is stealth.
Okay.
So this one says, you're an elite assassin of Mordai, capable of leaping through shadows in a murderous blur of
Oh.
sorcery and blades.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dope.
Okay.
Leaping through shadows.
That does sound really cool. You can also be a spellcaster.
Okay.
It's not like the core of this archetype, but you can have that in here as well, which is pretty cool.
So it's similar to playing half an orc. It's like half caster, half elf, half stab.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one we'll have to build from scratch in Foundry,
I don't want to do
but I could do it mostly on this end.
that. Nice.
All right, so if everybody's taking a look at your characters, everybody but Tim should have things pretty much filled in. I think we just need to make a couple choices that I skipped over before.
I can't see it though.
How do I click on this?
Oh, right,
I
because
don't know
Jess
if
doesn't have
it'll
a computer.
Work on, I don't know if it'll work on a phone.
Okay, so I will, let's just go through, why are you getting the bestiary now? That's weird. So let's look at Jess's character. I'm going to, like,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put Doomseeker back in so we have those choices come up. So I'll give you your first choices. Begin character creation. Okay. So first thing is your skills. So you have 9 experience to spend. Your core skill is weapon skill. So you automatically start with a training and a focus. So that gets you an additional die and the whole, you can turn 1 die up 1 number with that. So with 9 experience, you can buy training and or focus in the other skills. You can choose athletics, awareness, ballistic skill, determination, fortitude, intimidation, intuition, might, reflexes, survival, and theology. So I know the first time you buy a training in a skill, it costs 1. If you buy a further training, it costs an additional 2. If you buy a third training, I think it costs an additional 3. So they get more expensive. And same with focus, because you can have focus without training in a skill, potentially.
I could not follow all of
I know that was a lot at once.
How do you,
I also was trying to get
what?
Foundry on my phone, and it's kind of working, but no.
Oh,
I didn't even know you could do that.
Good luck with that. I don't know. So, about as you get looking at that, let's take a look at Rachel's instead, because you can see it. So I'll redrag over
This is what it looks like.
Blackguard Corsair.
I don't know how to work it, but
We're figuring it out.
All right, so Rachel,
you can
if
at
you
least
go
look.
to the little up.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm looking at the stats thing.
All right, so you have your character sheet open.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at okay, so we need to start over the character creation because I just said accepted. I'm not sure how to build with experience now. So you open up the compendium. Over on the sidebar, there's a little booklet next to the gears.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on that, and then you'll see which says Archetypes Core.
Mm-hmm.
So open that up, and I'll give you a big list, and then just drag
Okay.
the Dark
I
Elf
see it.
Corsair onto where it says Dark Elf Corsair on your sheet.
On my sheet. Where's my sheet? Where do I drag it to?
So you have Rachel's character opened up.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. Yep.
So right underneath that title, it'll say Blackguard Corsairs and then Elf. So just drag the Blackguard Corsairs from the compendium onto where it says Blackguard Corsairs, and it should bring up another menu of stuff.
Okay. Yep. All right.
And then this is where you can start making your choices. You can spend your experience on the skills.
I have 12.
Nice. So not everybody has the same starting experience to spend. It depends on like how many attribute points you have to begin with.
Okay.
So Black Art Corsair. So you start with 7, but you get 12 experience, and you get to choose 4 talents,
Ooh, okay. So,
which is pretty cool.
but the one is the bigger they are. That one is set,
Yeah, that's your core talent. So you automatically
and
get
then
that one.
4 in addition, or 3.
You have to choose 4 more from that
Okay.
list.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Well, let's. I feel like beast handling.
So I'm going to assume at this point we shouldn't be doing on our own +%. We should be doing this on the Foundry.
If
I'm
you
just
have
going-
it somewhere else, that is fine.
Okay, I'm trying to just sit here. I'm like mapping stuff out on my own because I'm trying to just figure this stuff out.
So one thing that's fun here, I see the animal friend talent that can kind of go along with beast handling. So you could have like animal companion again.
Yeah.
It says animal friend. So you have a natural affinity for animals, and they tend to like you. You have advantage on opposed tests when trying to get an animal to follow your commands or earn trust. Additionally, you naturally know what animal wants or what would be causing it stress or harm. All right, so that one doesn't give you like a pet right away, but Jess and I were talking last night about how funny it's been that so far all of your characters have had like an animal companion.
It's because I like animals.
But I guess I thought that was what that talent did, but I guess that's not in this archetype.
All right, let's see. Well, let's do. So training is the extra die, and focus you can
Turn a die up, yep.
turn a die up.
And what's nice about Foundry is you click up in those to add more training or focus. It automatically subtracts the correct amount of experience.
You can tell me I could be a hag priestess.
You specifically asked for something stealthy.
No, that's true.
I mean, if you want to be a hag priestess instead,
No,
that's fine.
I really want to be this witch elf. I've been talking about it all day.
The witch elf
The
or
last 5
the
minutes.
shadow stalker.
Oh, they're not the same thing?
No,
Oh.
I know you've been dealing with technology. I'll give you a little. I won't give you too much crap.
What would guile be?
So guile is the
For-
skill you use for it covers, it's kind of a broader skill. Let's see if they have a description of it on here. I don't think they do. Looking at my GM screen. So that one covers like reading people, I believe. Let me double check because it's one that's a little difficult for me
Oh,
to
yeah.
describe. Your ability to act charming in order to convince others to see things from your viewpoint, failing that to lie convincingly to get your way.
You need to go to like.
So guile's like takes the place of things like charm or deception. I think it's those things kind of rolled together. So those with training this skill are often naturally devious, whereas focus means you've been specifically taught how to use rhetorical devices, or perhaps various grifts and cons in order to manipulate or deceive others. So like Tim would have, he has high guile.
Like from Street Fighter?
Yeah, you definitely used to have your hair like that.
That's true.
Actually, not too far off back in the day.
Yeah, it just went straight up.
All right, so Tim, are you pretty set on the Shadow Stalker, sneaky elf?
Yes.
Okay, so we can start building your character from scratch in here.
Okay.
If you're like ready to do so.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I don't believe you.
How do we do it?
So open up your character sheet.
Where? What is that?
So click on what's that? With the little people looking one, actors.
Actors. Okay.
And then open up the Blackened Earth folder.
Done.
And you should have access
It's
to
Tim's character right there.
Yeah, look at that.
Whoa.
I did it ahead of time.
Look at this.
I was playing around with how to use Foundry yesterday, which I'm glad I did because it took me. I had to Google some stuff to figure out how to get an archetype into the character sheet.
It says I'm an aether chemist.
Right, so we need to get rid of that. I might need to remake your character, actually. I don't know how to get rid of the archetype.
This doesn't seem like it's from scratch if there's already so much here.
Can I just, like, delete? Delete. That's not working. Okay, let's try. I want to remove. I think I'm just going to delete this character and make a new Tim's character. You've been permanently deleted.
Oh.
All right, new actor. Tim's character, part 2. And then I need to make sure I give you permission. Tim is the owner. Good stuff. Okay. So now you can open up Tim's character part 2, and it should say you have 35 experience to spend.
It does say I have 0.35.
Good. Okay, so in your attributes, see if we can just, like, type over what's there, because they all start at 1.
Okay.
Right, so you're going to have body 3. See if you can just type in 3.
3.
Okay, did your experience go down?
It went up. It counts up. It looks like.
Oh, you spent, what, 7 out of 35?
Yeah.
Is that what it says? Okay, cool. Your mind is also 3,
Okay.
and your soul is 1. Sorry, 2.
Whoa.
I can read.
2.
Also, while we're talking about attributes, looking at the characters we have so far in Foundry, you can customize archetypes a little bit if you feel like you're, like if you want to play the, let's see, which one's pretty different in that way. You can switch any 2 attributes if you want to, like, you don't want your Doomseeker to be so physically tough. You want them to be more mentally tough. You could switch soul and mind, or soul and body, or something like that. You can flip-flop 2 of them.
Okay.
All right, what's next up? How about species for Tim? You're going to be an elf, A-E-L-F.
A-E-L-F?
Yes,
Elf?
elf.
Okay.
Or ale.
They're not just
Elf?
elves, they're elves.
Elf.
What's next here? Let's look at your skills.
Skills.
Let's see, how do we change your skills? Can you click on it, and can you change just the value under training and focus?
Like these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so stealth you gain training and focus in.
Stealth.
That's your core skill.
So I just hit 1 for that?
Yep, 1 for both training and focus.
Nice.
And then let's, before we go to the rest of the skills, let's look at talents. Go down to talents and click that little plus. Your core talent is Shadow Leap. I don't know if that's new in this book or not, so see if we can find a way to add a talent.
One quick question. So the core skill is automatically just given. That doesn't take away from the experience you get with it that it says for you.
If for your chosen archetype, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I think it's already built into
okay.
the experience you have left to spend.
Okay, and with the experience and everything, if you're putting it into, so every skill that you're picking, you're already spending 1 experience point on it for either a training or focus on it?
The first one, yeah.
Okay. And if is it like either or? Like, so if I want to go to a weapon skill just to pick it up and on my character, that's just 1 experience if I want a training in it?
Yes.
Or if I want 1 focus in it?
Also 1 experience, yeah.
Okay. So if I pick up the skill and then I want to also put a focus in it, that's just 1 and 1? Or does that technically go to 2?
I believe it's 1 for the first training, 1 for the first focus.
Gotcha.
I don't think if you have a training, the focus then costs more. But if you,
Well, that's
if you already have it in Foundry, click it and see. I think it shouldn't double.
Because it just says, for when you're looking at the book, it says training or focus, 1 level is 1 experience. But that it doesn't say if like that counts as like, okay, now I put it, so I have a training, now I want to put a focus. Is that just an additional 1 experience on it, I guess?
I think it should be.
So can I select a talent from this list?
All right, so it looks
Or do I
like,
have to write it out?
so if you open up the talent list from the compendium, that little booklet over by the settings, I don't see it on there, so I'll have to create it as a new talent.
Okay.
So I see you have new talents in there, so if you just click the little edit button, I will tell you what to do with it once I find Shadow Leap in here. Well, they added a lot of new talents in this book.
It's called Shadow Leap, you said?
Shadow Leap. So the only requirement is that you're a Canite Shadow Stalker, so good thing you fit that.
How do you spell
You don't have to
Canine?
write all that in, that's fine.
But it's a requirement.
True, so you can just write Shadow Stalker.
Shadow Stalker. One word or two?
One. So the Canite just means that you were a follower of Cain.
Oh, dope.
Which is like a lesser god of murder and blood.
But one day he could be a major god of murder and blood.
Maybe.
If he...
It's not one of the gods
What's the
of the
timeline?
realms. So like
Gotcha.
each of the mortal realms has at least one god associated with it. Like Realm of Death is Nagash. Realm of Heavens is Sigmar.
Mhm.
And then like there's a couple of the different elf gods that are in charge of other ones. But Cain isn't like that far up in the pantheon to have his own realm.
Gotcha.
I'll have to double check the lore on Cain in the Age of Sigmar stuff. It might be a little bit different compared to like what I know from Warhammer Fantasy.
Mhm.
But it's definitely like in Warhammer Fantasy, Cain was like the god of the Dark Elves, the Drukai. So I think a lot of it carries over. So
Cider Drinker asked, isn't Cain just an avatar of Khorne?
there is there are like rumors among the community that all the lesser gods are just different manifestations of the chaos god. So like Cain is the god of murder and like bloodletting, which sounds a lot like Khorne. A lot of people say that the horned rat for the Skaven is just a manifestation of a mix of Tzeentch and Nurgle together. But the way gods usually work in Warhammer is about like belief in them. Except for Gork and Mork, they're their own thing.
Right.
Of
They're
course.
the orc,
Duh.
the greenskin gods. But in
Sounds like
Age
a
of Sigmar,
weird
they've become one
sitcom.
creature with two heads called Gorka Morka, which is awesome. So Shadow Leap, you want to type in the description. Actually, if we can do this easier, I'll highlight it and copy it into the Foundry chat, and then you can copy it into your description there.
Sorry to interrupt again. I might have missed this. So I put in one training on like beast handling and then one in the focus. How do I know that took away experience?
At the top right of your character sheet, it should say how much experience you had to spend. Like I think yours, I don't know what yours was,
I have
9 or
26 out of 35.
So you get to count up to 35 still.
I get to
and
count up to
use
30. Oh, okay.
that
I
nine
missed that
number.
part.
I shouldn't say 35 because that's if you're building a character from scratch, but we gave you an archetype.
Mine says 35
Mine says
also.
35.
So maybe it counts all of like the so on the one page where like you're choosing your skills, it was counting up to meet because you had 9. No,
I had 12.
you had 12. Was yours
I think I had 20
20?
when I started. But then it's counting up, so I only have 15 to spend.
Okay. Oh, you started with 20 on there already.
Right.
Okay, so that would take like your core skill, your core talent, your attributes were already
Yeah.
factored in. Okay, good.
Would this be considered a free talent? Does it not count against my experience?
I think you still pay for it.
Okay.
Out of the 35, I'm pretty sure. I'll double check
Okay.
that. I do
see.
want to read out what this does really quick because it's really cool.
You're really cool.
So Shadow Leap, thank you, says you have learned to navigate the umbral web, an unseen network that draws arcane connections between the shadows of the mortal realms. If you are standing fully in shadow, you can use your move to instantly reappear at any location within long range. I think that's up to 2 zones away. As long as it is also in shadow and large enough to conceal you. When you do this, you can immediately make a body stealth test as a free action. So you can teleport through shadows. That's awesome.
It sounds pretty dope.
That's really cool. So you are essentially Nightcrawler so far.
Mhm.
I mean, he doesn't have to have shadows, but he can turn invisible while in shadow.
That's
which
right.
is close.
Yeah.
And then also teleport. You don't leave behind Brimstone, though. At least it doesn't say you do.
Okay.
I mean, that could just be the trigger for your teleport. You just let one rip and then be somewhere else.
Yeah, just sulfurous egg farts is how you can tell him teleport.
So then-
Sounds like my wife.
So then, do I technically have more experience than what it says in the original book then?
So are you going from dragging the archetype in and going from that page that came up, or are you kind
I
of
mean, my
building from
page.
scratch?
So my page says it's Mike's characters, Branchwood, Sylvaneth. Currently at 32 out of 35 experience. It already has all my body, mind, and soul stats, all the stuff there.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, it says you're at 32 at the moment.
32 out of 35, and that
Right.
technically would have been the 7 that would have been in the original book.
Okay.
So I guess I have more.
I mean, you should have 35 total. So we'll kind of go through it as we go. I do see.
It's scary.
Okay, you only have your core talents so far. So as a branch witch, you get to choose some talents. I'm in the wrong book here.
Which I also kind of messed up on. I think I accidentally added a new talent in when I wasn't ready to.
How dare you?
Yes, okay. So what's cool is, again,
Give me
if
all the
you-
talents.
If you open up the talent thing from the compendium, you can just drag talents into that section. So you only get to choose 2. So you get
So
to
maybe
choose
I mixed
from
up.
animal friend, loyal companion. You could have a bitter grub, which is so you could be the one with a little animal.
Yeah.
I was
person.
already, picking out the grub. I ain't gonna lie.
Medic. We know how much we like healing in this game. Weapon, weave,
You can heal in this
and
game?
witch sight. Right? Well, he does have the lore of life. What he could choose a healing spell. Doesn't have to,
Gotcha.
but could.
So because you heal by drinking money, does that mean you just
I
kind of
love that
he
so much.
prints money?
I haven't read over all the
every
spell
time I
that-
go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Every time I go
Right? I mean, there could be a
Excuse me,
spell
I gotta
that,
go
like,
print money.
makes. So let's see. Spells
Money
you could have.
does grow on trees.
Briarstorm, Eye of the Land,
I
Life
don't like how
Bloom.
this is going all of a sudden now. Wait a minute.
I wonder if you could like make Aqua Gyranus. That would be crazy.
Mike, we need a couple of bucks, so we're going to take your arm. Wait, what?
Oh, there's one called Nourishment. Oh, that just means you don't have to eat. Sickle Wind, Whip Vines, Shield of Thorns, Realm Blood. Oh, there you go.
Blood.
Okay, now I'm in the right spot. Okay, I was missing a whole heap ton, so never mind on all my previous questions. I was off on my own page.
Yeah, so if you want a healing spell, it sounds like Realm Blood. Oh, yeah. So that one can heal toughness. That's pretty cool. All right, so where were we with Tim's character? I need to give you the list of talents, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, no, what am I looking for here? Daughters of Cain. Cainite, Shadowstalker. So just because you're Daughters of Cain, you can choose any archetype can be male or female.
Okay.
Depending what you want. It doesn't have to be male or female either. Totally up to you. So talents you get to choose 2
Okay.
from this list. You
I'm
ready?
I'm incredibly ready.
Right? You're so good at making these kinds of decisions.
On the fly. Yep.
So there's Applied Anatomy. Okay, that sounds awesome. Backstab. Executioner. Effortless Deceit. Or Spellcasting Gray. I know how much you like gray magic.
I do really like gray magic.
And
I can
obviously
only
I can
choose
look
2 of
up any
those?
of these. You can choose 2. You can buy.
Can I have more?
I gotta see how. I gotta double check how that works when you take an archetype. If you have extra experience to spend on talents or not.
Okay. So I think out of the gate we're gonna take the gray magic and effortless deceit.
All right. So let me look up Effortless Deceit for you because that is also a new one. Concealing truth comes as easily to you as breathing. You gain advantage on opposed tests to deceive others, such as when telling a lie, forging documents, or disguising yourself. Additionally, you are unaffected by spells and effects that compel you to tell the truth.
Oh, that's dope.
That's really good,
Yeah.
Just lying all the time, aren't you?
right? This sounds so good for Tim. All right, I will copy that description into the chat.
And
if you
before-
definitely want that one.
Just so I can waffle a little bit, what do backstab and executioner do?
I don't think I spelled deceit right, but good enough. What were the ones?
Backstab and executioner.
Okay, so backstab is in the core book, so we can look that one up in Foundry, which I think we can kind of guess what it does. Let's see.
Okay, I've got it.
You have to be wielding a subtle weapon, so a weapon with the subtle quality.
Okay.
You know how to strike swiftly and quietly. If you make an attack with a subtle weapon and the target is unaware of you, the attack deals double damage and ignores armor.
Oh, dope.
So it's like souped up sneak attack.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
Executioner.
Executioner. Let's see. Is that in the... That is not in the core book. You know how to deliver a quick death to enemies when they are at your mercy. When you hit an incapacitated, prone, or restrained character with an attack, you deal 1 additional damage for each 6 rolled.
Okay. So we'll, instead of the effortless deceit, we'll go gray magic and backstab.
No effortless deceit.
No effortless deceit.
Okay. So gray magic, you can drag over. You can look up the spellcasting talent in the compendium, and then backstab. I already copied that one. No, I copied.
Effortless deceit.
Oh, that backstab was also from the core book, so you can drag those both over from the compendium to your sheet. So while Tim is doing that, what kind of things have you chosen, Jess, for your Doomseeker? I don't know too much about this.
I don't know. I put stuff
One
in
yet.
there. Go take a look.
Well, I'm glad you made some choices.
Yeah.
Click some things. So let's see. Let's look up our Fire Slayers for those that are watching or listening that don't know. Doomseekers are oath sworn to leave your home and never return. You travel the mortal realms in search of an epic death. So if you're familiar with Slayers from Warhammer Fantasy, it's essentially that. You are looking for death in glorious combat. So you don't usually wear any armor. You can take what's called, you can get like runes.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with a rune of iron skin and any other Urgold rune. So you can, these runes are like stamped into your body. So you have this stuff called Urgold, which I believe is like parts of the Grumganai was one of the main dwarf gods. No, not Grumganai, Grimnir, who died during the Age of Myth fighting a god beast, this giant magma droth, the magma dragon basically. And I believe it's parts of his body that were scattered among the realms that the Fire Slayers are trying to recover. So it's like putting a piece of your god in your body to power you up.
Well, shit.
It's really cool. Let's see. Oh, so your core talent is Berazakdum, the Doom Oath, which is a cool name. So let's look at that for people. What is, so again, this is kind of like your defining thing for this particular archetype. So you've sworn the Berazakdum, the Doom Oath. As you grow closer to death, you draw upon the power of your gold runes to ensure victory or to be consumed in a blaze of glory. Whenever your toughness is at 0, damage from your attacks is doubled. This is done before subtracting your target's armor from your damage. Wow. So if your toughness is at 0, so you're on the brink of death, you're taking wounds at this point, which as a Dwarden, you get extra wounds on the wound track. You have 2 more than anybody else. You're harder to kill. You double your
Even
damage.
though you want to die.
So as I'm dying, I'm just like, F all of you.
That you are
Power.
souped up.
Yeah.
And then you get
Kill me!
What was it? The Urgold rune of iron skin? So I can find that real easily. So when this rune is active, your armor is 1. Each active rune of skin increases armor by 1. This rune has no effect if you are wearing armor. Doomseekers almost always just go like bare-chested. They don't wear armor. They usually don't wear any clothing on their top half because they don't care so much about taking hits in combat, right? They want to die in glorious combat. To die in like a trifling combat would be even more dishonorable. Right. It needs to be against. So one reason you have this armor rune to be like, if you're fighting a bunch of grats, like goblins, that is not a glorious death. So you would be a good time to activate the rune to not take as much damage there. Yeah, so Urgold contains a fragment of Grimnir's power. Let's see, how do you activate a rune? We'll worry about that when we get closer to that kind of stuff. So super cool. So you get a few talents there, of course. Let's see, you get to choose from Battle Rage, Guts, Hard to Kill, Intimidating Manner, Iron Stomach, and Underdog. Did you make any choices there?
Where do I see the descriptions of those? Can I click on them, or what do I?
In Foundry? Are you looking at, or a PDF?
I'm in Foundry, but it's on a phone, so.
So to look at talents in Foundry, you're going to open up the compendium. which is from the drop down, be next to the game settings. Looks like a book.
Okay.
Volcatrix, that's what it was. Thank you, Rink Rat. Yeah, Grimnir died fighting Volcatrix, the mother of all salamanders. They're called god beasts. Each realm has some of these gigantic monsters that are nearly as powerful as the gods. I think it was mutual destruction there, which is cool.
Where is this book, Dan?
So on the right, I'm not sure how it looks on your phone. On the right side, there's all those like the chat and actors and stuff. There should be one that looks like a book called Compendium Packs.
I'm seeing search journal, roll tables.
To the right of that.
Actor, card stacks.
I can always,
Are there different ones?
check them for you as well.
Am I in the right spot?
Yeah, that's where it is.
All right, so the
know.
first choice you have here is Battle Rage. You're consumed with rage and hurl yourself wildly into battle. You care little for your own safety and aim to cause as much harm as possible to your enemies. As a free action, you can choose to reduce your defense a number of steps to increase your melee an equal number of steps. Your battle rage and the changes to your defense and melee last until the start of your next turn. I really like that, where you can sacrifice your defense so you take hits easier, but you're hitting a lot easier and dealing more damage. That's pretty cool. Let's see, what was another one? That's on page 60, so I can go back to it. Guts. You got what was it? The Astro Crag? You got to climb.
Oh, from Guts? Yeah.
Guts.
I loved that show.
So to take Guts, you have to have training 1 in Fortitude. Did you take a training in Fortitude? Because if you didn't, then we'll just move on to the next one, because you can't take that anyway.
I just clicked
did.
submit. Did that go through for my character?
I'll take a look while Jess is checking that.
Hopefully,
see.
I did that like 10 minutes ago, and I've just been waiting.
All right. Yeah, so I see like Loyal Companion, Medic, Spellcasting.
So where do I
See spellcasting twice,
see
but
all
that's okay.
that?
Unbind,
It's on
unbind.
holdouts.
Cool. So we'll clean up your sheet later, because I see you got a couple things double there. So Guts. You're as tough as they come, and your body can withstand more punishment than most. You gain +1 toughness for each level of training in the Fortitude skill. Yeah, so you just get more health.
Why would I want that?
So you don't die against the not as important thing.
I see now what's going on here.
Because you want that epic death to be a challenge.
Right.
Right?
Of course.
It has to be something mightier than you. Let's see. Hard to kill. Sense a theme here. You don't die easy. The first time you fail a death test in combat, you do not increase the DN, the difficulty number. The next test you fail increases the DN as normal. So you don't want to die, but you have access to a lot of things that keep you alive. Intimidating manner. That one seems pretty straightforward. Let's see. You have advantage on opposed tests to threaten, intimidate, or start arguments. Additionally, people often leave you alone, even when you are somewhere you don't belong, for fear of angering you. They're just like, oh, that's a scary-looking Dwarden. Iron Stomach. I love the sound of that one. Alcohol, noxious fumes, poison, and other toxins don't have much effect on you. You double the dice gain from training in Fortitude for any test to resist poison and disease. Because that's not an epic death if you're to die from,
Not at all.
bloody flux or something. And then Underdog is the last choice here. You'll get to choose 3 of these.
Okay.
Underdog, you fight better when backed into a corner. If 2 or more enemies and no allies are within close range of you at the start of your turn, your melee increases 1 step. This benefit lasts until the start of your next turn. So you fight better on your own, essentially, right? So you like to run ahead and fight enemies that your allies are not also engaged with.
Okay.
So bunch of cool stuff there.
So I like that last one and the Iron Stomach. And then what was the first one?
Battle Rage, where you can sacrifice your defense to get more offense, basically. So you definitely want Underdog.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
And Iron Stomach.
So I'll
And
drag
then
those onto your sheet. Did
Pick
that
one
work?
of the other ones for me.
Underdog. There we go. And Iron Stomach.
I have to
I'm not gonna pick it for you.
What's that?
It says like I have to pick.
Come on.
Why am I-
There we go. Iron Stomach is added. So it depends. Do you want to be harder to kill, or do you want to hit harder in combat?
That's a good question.
Or do you want to be scary to people with intimidating manner?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just gonna keep moving.
Just like Vosheim's holdout, that manner was intimidating.
I get one of those harder to kill ones, I guess.
So guts or hard to kill. So guts was adding more toughness. So every time, so with guts, if you add more training to the fortitude skill, it'll also increase your toughness. Essentially your hit points.
Gotcha.
Or hard to kill is during combat. If you go down and you're dying, you don't die as easily. So like, do you want to stay on your feet longer, or do you want to not die as easily once you're down? I guess
Let's
is the
go
way.
for hard to kill.
Cool. All right, so I'll add that to your sheet for you. Boom. Why does it never work the first time I drag it? Let's see, how many times I'm going to add hard to kill to your sheet. There we go. I
There
got
it
it to work
is.
that time. Nice. All right, let's... Oh, we got a name. It doesn't say Mike's character anymore.
Dope.
We got a name for a character. So what is your branch witch called, Mike?
Soil.
I like that.
I saw it was in the core book and everything of what names would be, and I'm like, soil. Well, at least this time nobody can mess
my
up my
God.
character's name.
Challenge accepted.
True.
Do you know who you're sitting next to?
I know, because I was looking at it, how it reads in here. It's like, oh god, that can easily be misconstrued as like another L. So I'm like,
Soul.
yeah, you're gonna call me soul.
You're not the sun. All right, great. You want to talk about some choices you made here?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Since you kind of went ahead, which is great, you want to talk about some things? That you
Well, I mean, like
chose.
again, I was reading a bunch of the stuff into it, and since it pretty much, I'm already going to be a spellcaster that's going into healing type things. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the spells, because I see I can add spells, but I just don't know how to actually get to them.
So I was trying to figure that out too. So if you go to that compendium thing,
Back
on
in
the right?
compendium.
Yep.
there's you can open up their spells core.
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can just kind of go through and
And I can just
look
go
at-
through and start.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so while I'm going through that, some of the stuff that I'm looking at, because I've been working on a side sheet here. So yeah, I did go with the talents there of medic to make sure the healing's going up, which means I can, instead of resting, I can heal one of you guys. There's a roll, of course, you know, if it's a severe wound, if I can treat it, if it's a light wound, if I can treat it. Then I have the loyal companion, which is going to be the bitter grub.
Nice.
Which I don't know if I can name it, but I'm going to just already call it Skitter.
Skitter.
All right, so I'm figuring out there's a note in here for Foundry how to make this like part of your sheet. I'm trying to figure that out for you as you tell us what's going on.
Not a problem. Skills wise, I was looking into, since I already started off with training and focus and channeling, which is my ability to cast magic and everything. I was looking at other things that are just going to be going with it. So beast handling, of course, because I've got my companion there. Crafting, so because I'm figuring I'm a tree person, I should probably know how to make things here and there with like nature objects.
It's kind of
especially-
dark when you think about it. Like, you're a tree person,
You
like,
just grow things.
tree person. I mean, I could be just growing.
it's like I'm a
pens.
human. I should know how to make shivs out of people's bones and stuff. Like,
I didn't say I'm making them out of trees.
all right,
God, I'm
But
not
you-
like some kind of cannibal.
but you
Jeez.
could.
Saying, like maybe I'm growing some penicillin on my back. I don't know.
I mean, that seems like a useful talent to have.
I
honestly.
I am a tree person. I could be having mold and moss on me. Medicine, of course, how well I can heal. And then I do know I have a great scythe on me, so I went with weapon skill, just so I can make sure I can actually do some damage. Once I figure out spells-wise, I start off, because of the spellcaster bit, I already start out with Arcane Bolt as well as Mystic Shield, so I can deal some damage from range. I can give a little bit of protection. Then I went into the green stuff. I've got Realm Blood, which allows me to heal a toughness on a person. I have Lie of the Land, which will allow for me, because I've again figuring tree person, I can communicate with the area for a second and gain a mental map of everything that's there.
It's kind of dope.
That's cool. Maps are awesome.
Then I was like, I want a little bit of like AoE type stuff. So I have Shield of Thorns, which allows me to literally, for the entire party in the area that's around me, I bring up a bunch of like thorns and briars around us, so anything that attacks us will take damage and everything's a little bit of protection. And then Arcane Wave, which is a damaging spell that will also knock enemies prone. So
You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out something that's going to
Powerful.
help with all this stuff and everything, you know? So, and then of course I have Unbind that comes with the spell. I have spellcasting as well as the Unbind, which means I can cancel out spells if somebody's casting at us. So, I have played a lot of support classes in like RPG games, so I know how to kind of make this.
Very cool. All right, I'm gonna have to deep into this a little bit more for your loyal companion to figure out what I'm trying to follow this note on your sheet, and it's just I keep accidentally just copying it. I don't know how to get. Did you just delete it for me?
Yeah, there's
okay,
so
cool.
on the actual talent, that's where I found it. Is on the actually talent portion. If you click on that, there's a nice little trash can there. You're like, okay, I don't need all.
Oh,
that.
there it is. Okay, yeah, because it says once this talent has been added to an actor, open this item sheet and drag and drop the loyal companion effect from the effects tab onto the desired companion actor. This effect should then apply the appropriate bonus. I'm just not sure what the companion actor. So if I open the Bitter Grub sheet, I look at the effect tab, and I try to drag loyal companion to the Bitter Grub, it doesn't seem to do anything.
That's what I'm trying to figure out as well. Because like, I see. I mean, when you go to the compendium, it says like there's things in there of like add this and post this. So
Yeah, we'll look more into that to get the mechanics of it down. Just every game system for Foundry has its own little things, and we're just figuring it out. So if anybody knows how to link up the loyal companion in Foundry, we'd love to hear it. All right, let's see. We haven't heard from Rachel in a while. What do you got going on?
All right.
Where we at?
So we're kind of this ruthless privateer, not a pirate. Not a
Acquisition.
not a
expert, yeah.
pirate.
pirate.
Not a pirate.
Treasure hunter.
Uh,
Other people's treasure.
Exactly.
Take money, but maybe not yours.
And I've sort of gained my wealth and notoriety as a hunter of
Oh, there
monstrous
it is. There it is.
beasts
There it is.
Ooh, I
out
like
in the
that.
sea.
That's cool.
And so, some of my skills reflect that. I have a repeater crossbow
Oh, nice.
That's pretty dope.
and a cutlass, and I'm ambidextrous. So, I feel
You're an
like that'll
elf.
be a good combination.
So
yeah,
you're just better than everybody at things.
yeah, pretty much.
Did it have a spot for your elf bonus when choosing your skills? So each species has a little bonus to them. Elves get
I think was that why I maybe had 12?
Oh yeah, because you gain 2 additional
Yeah.
XP to spend on skills during character creation. This XP must be spent on the same skill. So there's
Mm-hmm.
so like you've lived a long life, you're really good at something. What did you choose for that?
I think
So what do you have
The-
a lot? Weapon skill? I
the
see
weapon
2 training
skill.
in.
Yeah. Or I mean, like a lot of them, I did like both a training and a focus for the skills that I wanted.
That makes sense. Yeah, bonus die, change a die.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, your weapon skill, you're rolling 5 dice right now with a focus. That's pretty sweet. With your cutlass.
And I believe Since I have the ambidextrous talent, I get to add another dice before splitting the dice for each weapon when making
Oh,
an
right.
attack. So I think I'd be rolling with.
Oh, sweet. So so you'll definitely want 2 cutlasses then,
Okay.
which is easy, and I think you get some money to spend from
Instead
the
of
beginning.
the crossbow.
Oh no, you already have. Well, you have. Your sheet has 4 cutlasses on it right now. I'll delete
Oh
a
yeah,
couple
I
of those
couldn't
for
figure
you.
out how to like. And then I was like,
I
well,
don't know which
know.
weapon to kill with you with first.
And this is you had 2 repeating hand bows, so
Yeah.
Dual wield,
we'll-
unlocked.
we'll get rid of
I
that.
have a lot of
Ambidextrous and
stuff.
2 crossbows. Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo.
One of my 4 swords.
All right, so clean that up.
They're
a
single
little bit.
use. Just throw them out afterwards.
So yeah, when
That's
you get
like
into combat,
actually what
Paper
I was
straws,
thinking. I was
yeah.
like, oh, maybe there's so many in there because like they break after a while, and I'm gonna need another one.
She's just one of those characters that just like reaches off screen,
Yes.
grabbing another one.
Yeah.
Where's that
Exactly.
coming from?
Exactly.
all
New
right.
cutlass
Yeah,
every
so you
time.
have like double of everything. Look, I think maybe because we dragged that in there twice to add
Oh,
She's
maybe.
to like rebuild the
She's a-
character.
That's
It just
probably.
gave you double all the equipment,
She's
so
a,
I just
she's a
cleared it
neat
out.
she's a
Okay.
neat freak. She doesn't like it. She killed somebody that's got blood. I don't want this.
Yeah,
anymore.
with
No,
Jucky now.
can't use that sword anymore.
It's
It's
filthy.
bloody. Ugh.
I think I can
sweet.
only have either 2 cutlasses or the hand bow and the cutlass.
Like at once.
Oh, okay. Like at one, but I can carry.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure. I don't think that's
So,
gonna make it.
just did
Like I don't.
that. Now where did that go?
Just have like a golf bag of cutlasses. Like,
Also, with
Guess
when you're
I'll
looking,
use 7
Give me-
iron on the
One
Give
of us
me
will
my
be your
7
caddy.
damage weapon.
when you're looking at the gear tab on your character sheet,
Yeah.
make sure to have like, especially your armor. Make sure you have the equip little
Okay.
node clicked.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise,
so,
it won't apply it directly. So I just
I would
added your
just
armor, your
pick
sea dragon
which
cloak.
2 weapons I want equipped at a certain time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can change that out while
Got it,
when we
got
get
it,
into
got it, got
combat and whatnot.
Also, I have like obviously some water that I'm carrying with me, but it's not water. So.
I see now.
oh, it's vinegar?
It's not filled with water.
It's
yeah,
not
that's good.
filled with water.
All right. I love your relentless assault as well.
Yeah.
It makes your ambidextrous even better. It says where others use a shield, you believe the best form of defense is a deadly offense. When wielding a melee weapon in each hand, your melee increases 1 step. So let's see. Right now,
Figured
your
all
melee
that went together with
is.
the ruthless nature of my past.
What does it tell? Oh, your step right now
Sorry
is
to
already
this now.
good, which is a nice place to be at creation. So that will take it up to great when you have 2. So you're going to be hitting on 2s and 3s pretty often, which is nice.
Oh no.
Very cool. All right, so it's looking like.
There we go.
Is yours done there? Do you think?
I think so, especially because my computer's about to die, and it definitely didn't bring the charger. So.
Whoops. All right. So your equipment is set. Unless you want to, so you look. I think I saw you have 45 drops of Aqua Gyranus. If you wanted to buy anything else or save it for later and
I'm gonna
drinking
save it.
to heal.
You know, if I'm
Gotta
fighting
drink your
off
money.
all these beasts, probably gonna need some healing.
All right. So next thing you need is a name. Well, that's not next. Thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on a little backstory and.
And we'll talk about the 10 questions in a moment.
What?
Tim, how you doing over there with your stuff?
Good, I think. I'm picking out spells.
Let's see Tim's character part 2. You're picking spells.
Electric
Nice.
Boogaloo.
So let's see. Did yours? So the spellcasting talent gives you access to 4 spells, and the 2 basic spells: Arcane Bolt
Yeah.
and Mystic Shield. I always make they might be the other way around. Then you get to pick 4 spells from the common spell list, and your lore spell list. So you can mix and match there.
So far we've taken Mind Slip.
That sounds cool. Does that
Yeah.
make people
What's that?
forget you?
Yeah.
Nice.
They either
Mhm.
just completely forgot any interactions or what you've done either for the last minute or for the next minute.
Oh.
So,
So you could do that and then do whatever, and they
you
won't
can
remember
just
it.
straight up like rob someone and be like, no, I didn't.
It's gonna be like, the little flashy thing.
Yeah,
like on Men in
exactly. Yeah.
Black.
The neuralizer. I feel like somebody mind slips me all the time. That's annoying.
And then we have what?
Nothing.
We have illusion. We can
Illusion.
make illusions pop up. Enslave.
You're
where we-
basically making Loki.
Seems like it.
We were watching the second episode of the new season last night, and
That's
it sounds
pretty
like you're
good.
just making Loki.
So for my last spell, I have a couple things to kind of choose between. There's one that just summons like a horse that's just made out of shadow that can fly, and I can ride it around for an hour.
Yes, that is a
What?
classic Lore of Shadows spell. Steed of
It's-
Shadows, I think
Wow.
it's called.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
But there's so much dope stuff in here. There's one that like fills the zone with like noxious fumes that choke enemies. There's one that stuns everybody. There's that last spot is going to be a difficult one.
Don't discount the common spells too. There's some really useful stuff in those as well.
But
I
all
see
of
you have
these ones are-
Arcane Bolt. Don't forget to add Mystic Shield as well.
Yes.
That's very useful. Real quick, I want to take you away from the spells for just a minute. I want to give you your starting gear
Okay.
for this archetype. So you can just, I don't know how it works exactly. You don't have to pay for this stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to add leather armor.
Leather armor.
So you should be able to just drag that over.
Am I looking right at it? Maybe that's equipment, and then this needs to be specifically
Let's see. Let's look at if we add armors.
Oh, it looks like, is that a light armor?
It's just light armor, yeah. So I think I added light armor. We can just change the name of it to leather armor. Oh, I forgot the L. And that should be good because it just added, oh, it had 0. Let's change that. Its benefit is 1,
Nice.
right? Does that work?
Can I have a
Number
tarp?
1, and we'll equip it. You have what? A tarp?
Yeah.
You could potentially buy that.
And tongs.
I actually get quite a bit of money
Tongs?
healing.
It's in the inventory section. It's just like, oh, dope.
Tongs?
There's-
That's really great. That's
Have
probably
some
for
time.
like yeah, for like
Right?
smiths and stuff. You gotta double click it. Let's see. You also get an umbral blade, which is a sword or 2 assassin's blades. So 1 sword or
What are you
2
doing?
daggers.
I assume the sword doesn't have the subtle,
Probably not.
so we'll go the daggers.
Okay. So I'm going. So I think if you just click the plus on weapons. So I wish it was more of a drop. I don't know. There's like a drop down there. So I think if you look at the equipment, you should be able to find daggers and just drag those in. Or weapons not really there. I don't see daggers. Yes, there is. You got it? Dope. So you get 2 daggers. So if we look at that,
Is this the thing that was happening for, like you drag it over and, oh, there we go.
yes, it doesn't always seem to pop up right away. Yeah, they're piercing, subtle, and you can throw them short.
Yo, I'll eat a dagger.
Whoop. Let's see. Then you get a Shadow Shroud, which it's on page 109 of this book. So I will open that up quick and copy that. So you can copy that into the description of a new item. So you have to make a new item there. And while you're doing that, I'll let viewers and listeners know what this means. So Shadow Shrouds are created by the Cainite Shadow Stalkers, who weave gray magic into the fabric to shroud themselves in protective shadow. So you could decide, did you make this before, or was it handed down to you? Did somebody make it for you?
That's a good question.
Let's see. The umbral cloak shifts and sways around the wearer, blurring their form, allowing them to blend seamlessly with shadow. While wearing the Shadow Shroud, your defense increases 1 step while wholly in shadow. Oh my gosh, every map we're on, I'm going to have to think about where the shadows are. Because you're going to constantly be asking about the shadows.
Yes.
Additionally, the Shadow Shroud counts as a viable shadow for the purposes of the Shadow Leap talent. What? So you could just be...
I can just teleport wherever I want, whenever
You
I
just,
want.
you just do the Dracula thing and cover yourself with your cloak and then just teleport somewhere.
This is pretty dope.
That's broken. I don't like it already.
You chose it for it.
It was I just gave him an option. I didn't know all this yet.
So that would be equipment, or that would be like a piece of armor?
Add it to the equipment. It is not armor. Why is this not? I want to type in the number here. 38. There we go. Okay. So next up is 1 dose of basic poison. So we can look at what kind of poisons you can have. And then when you're ready, under currencies, you can add 85 drops of Aqua Gyranus.
Not ready yet.
Get ready! Oh, so poison is... basic poison is already there. I'm going to add that to your other equipment for you.
It was called a Shadow Shroud, you said?
I think so. It was hard to say. Yes, Shadow Shroud, one word.
Okay.
I added a drop of basic... dose of basic poison for you. And then give yourself 85 drops of Aqua Gyranus.
85 drops. Dope.
And I think you're done for mechanics for now. I see... No, you still have to buy skills. Oh, you know what could make this easier?
What's that?
I'm going to share with you a picture of this, the block.
Oh, nice.
So you can see what skills you can put points in. That way you actually know what you're doing a little bit more. Ba-boom. So you can, you got 11 experience to spend. And as an elf, 2 of those experience have to be spent on another skill. So like essentially to bump it up from 1 training to 2 or 1 focus to 2.
Okay.
You have to do that at one point for your elf bonus. But you can take Arcana, Athletics, Awareness, Ballistic Skill, Channeling, Dexterity, Guile, Intimidation, Intuition, Lore, Medicine, Reflexes, Stealth, Weapon Skill.
Is Huck and Daggers ballistics?
Yes.
Okay.
So you got a ton of options there.
So and the weapon
sweet.
skill is just kind of melee?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly that.
And so what am I choosing out of this list? Or those are the ones that I just start with?
So those are the ones you can put points into of your 11 experience. So the first time you buy a training or focus, it costs 1. The second time you buy a training or focus, it would cost 2 more.
Okay.
So you'll have to do it more
So 1
on
for
paper
1,
in your head.
2 for 3?
Yes.
Okay.
And then if you want to go up to 3, then it costs, I think, just another 3. But I'll triple check that.
And is that cumulative? Like if I get a focus in one, if I get a training in that training now costs 3, or the first one of both costs 1?
So that's what we were talking about earlier with Mike. I'm double checking that now. Wait, where is... Give me the rules.
Okay, so this is a weird question as I'm looking at this. Is there anything in here that's talking about how to set up your character's weight?
That kind of stuff is probably under finishing touches. I don't think they have like a chart for that. All right, here we go. So skills, training. 1 training costs 1 XP. Yeah, so they're separate. So if you have 1 training already, buying 1 focus still only costs 1.
Okay, dope.
They don't build off of each other. That's what I thought, but just making sure. You can also, as we gain experience in the adventure, you can spend 2 experience to buy a talent. And you can also increase your attributes with experience.
Okay.
Your body, mind, and soul.
So this
those
first
cost
11
a lot
though,
more.
this first 11 can I use to buy talents, or it all has to go to skills?
I believe it's just for skills.
Okay. And you said there was like 2 I had to pick or something like that?
So as an elf, you get 2 additional experience. That's why yours and Rachel's were so high compared to everybody else's.
Gotcha.
So that 2 of those experience, you have to increase a skill you already have something in.
Okay.
So like if you wanted to be really good at hucking your daggers, and you buy 1 training in it, you could buy a 2nd training in it as being an elf.
Okay.
Well, that's counted in the 11 that you have. Whoa! Totally missed Buffalo Spin Shot. Dad Packs has gifted 10 subs.
Oh,
Thanks so
whoa.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Because he's the best. All right, double checking stuff here. Can you... I don't think you can buy talents at character creation, but let me make sure. Oh, if you buy a 3rd level of training or focus, it costs 4 experience.
Okay.
So if you want to go right up to 3 in one of them, it costs 7 total.
What's the difference between dexterity and reflexes?
Good question. Let's take a look at those descriptions because I think it's more like manual dexterity, but let me double
Gotcha.
check. Your deft hands let you perform sleight of hand tricks, palming objects, conceal them, and other feats of legerdemain. I don't know that word. Yeah, so it's like manual dexterity, and reflexes is probably whole body, like dodge and stuff. I forgot my alphabet and was trying to find reflexes after stealth. Reflexes represent the speed and skill at which you move yourself out of harm's way. Yeah, so dexterity, hands, reflexes, whole body.
Okay.
Reflex will also increase your defense. Training reflexes skill affects your defense and initiative. Very cool. Thank you. Rink Rat. They know their stuff. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Our Doom Seeker. Are you feeling done with building your character?
Not.
Ooh, we got a name. It's not Jess's character anymore. So who are you?
Hella gray fired.
Ooh,
I like it. Hella
it.
gray
Dope name.
fired. And I love that you spelled fired F-Y-R-D, like the
I
Fire
think
Slayers.
I stole it right from the list.
Oh, okay. I like that. It's a very in-universe name. So Hella gray fired. Do you just go by Hella? Do you go by gray fired?
Hella.
Hello.
How many times are you going to make that joke? Hella, gray fired.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
go by
right.
Hella.
So let's take a look at some of your stuff. We talked about your towns before. The Doom Oath, Hard to Kill, Iron Stomach, Underdog. For gear, we have...
I couldn't figure out how to get it in there. I think since I'm doing this on a phone, it's not letting me edit everything exactly.
Right.
But I looked through the list, so I'm gonna go with a great hammer, a sword, and a dagger.
All right, so I will throw those in there for you because it's much easier on my computer to do that. So you said a great hammer?
Is my two-handed, yeah.
Dope. So you got a big old hammer to crush things with. There it is, great hammer as a weapon. Always have to drag it twice for some reason. What was the next one you said?
A sword
Just a basic
Yep.
sword.
and a dagger.
Again, forgot my alphabet. Oh, I'm already by dagger. Let's do that. Dagger. Drag it twice. And a sword. Just in case you don't have room for that great hammer or something, maybe. Sword. All right. And then the Gold runes. Have you had a chance to look at those
I
at all?
didn't see where they were. Where am I looking for those?
I'm deleting your any common one-handed melee weapon from your equipment. You also have a memento from your home and a few shavings of Urgold. I think you can use that later on to create like, your own runes. So let's at Fire Slayer runes. So there are, looks like 6 or 7 here. There's the Rune of Awakened Steel, Rune of Farsight, Rune of Fiery Determination, Rune of Fury, Rune of Iron Skin you already have, Rune of Relentless Zeal, and Rune of Searing Heat. Let me double check if Champions of Order added anything there. We might have some more. No, doesn't look like it. I see adventuring gear and Caradron equipment, so it looks like nothing there. What about Era of the Beast? Because those are all like kind of player-centric books that add more options. So let's just double check. You always have that one friend you run your character's names by. You all know the one. Right, is this a good name?
Was there a list somewhere of like conventional names for? Was that in the book?
In the
or-
core book,
Yeah.
there's list like
Page 28.
suggestions for each species.
Gotcha.
So if you want to look at elf
If you also go
names.
into the compendium, it's in the journal entries.
Oh, dope. All right.
All right, I'm double checking stuff
Yep.
here. Oh,
And
equipment.
then go to character creation, and then you've got right there if adding details.
I don't see anything
Hell yeah,
about
thank you.
Urgold, but maybe.
No, you actually have to go to adding details.
But I didn't see where that is. Oh, there we go.
And then you can click on one of the ones there, and it gives you like.
All right, doesn't look like
names
they've
of
added more options for that, but that's still like 6 more options. So any of those catch your interest?
What do
Yeah,
they
when-
do? What do they do again? Sorry.
There's still nothing in here.
So there's Rune of Awakened Steel.
do
When you
about
activate the
weight?
rune, your weapon has the Rend trait,
do
so you
about
can
weight?
break
Wow.
enemy
So
armor
I
with
don't know
that.
what to put.
Rune of Farsight, when you activate the rune, your accuracy increases 1 step, so range stuff is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I don't have
range.
No.
Rune of Fiery Determination. When this rune is active, you gain 1 additional space on the wound track.
Okay.
So it gives you 3 additional compared to everybody else. Rune of Fury. When this rune is active, your melee increases 1 step. Rune of Relentless Zeal. When you activate it, you gain a further bonus to initiative equal to your soul, which I think is 2. And Rune of Searing Heat. When this rune is active, all of your attacks deal +1 damage. And let's see. I'm assuming you can only have 1 active at a time. Double looking for that. You can have a number of active Urgold runes equal to your soul. I think your soul is 2.
Mhm.
If you have multiple active Urgold runes of the same type, the effects are cumulative. So you could get multiple runes of Fury and keep increasing your melee, or deal more damage with multiple runes of Searing Heat. Urgold runes are awakened in battle and activate when determining initiative. You not gain the benefit from your Urgold runes if you are surprised. That's awesome. They just activate as soon as we do initiative. Once we get into battle, your runes glow and you get the benefits of them. That's awesome. So what do you lean towards there?
That Searing Heat one at the end, I
Just
think it was
more
called.
damage.
Yeah.
I like that. The Rune of Searing Heat. So I'll add that to your to your sheet. Is it just under equipment? It is. Rune of Searing Heat. We'll add. And then we will get rid of any 1 Urgold rune. Oh, there it is. Oh, added down below to runes. Cool. It's a little separate section.
Yeah,
there.
I did that.
So when combat starts, you'll have to click equip on them, I believe, to activate them. Because if I click Rune of Searing Heat, I was curious if it would just change the damage on your weapons, but I think when you roll an attack on Foundry, if that's activated, then it'll add that additional damage, which is really cool. All right. Feeling like Hella is done, I think.
I guess.
Which weapon do you think she'll focus with? The Great Hammer, probably?
Yeah.
So if we click equip on that should add it to the combat tab. There it is. So then you can just click on the Great Hammer to make attacks when we get into combat, which is really cool. All right, is anybody feeling like they need any last bit of help here? We getting these wrapped up? I see some more names. I see our Black Art Corsair has a name. Who are you, Rachel?
Daria Swifthand.
Ooh.
Daria. Like it. We're definitely not going to mispronounce that one. And then we had a whole bunch of those AE things again. Daerya.
I felt like it went with the elf stuff, so.
Wait, I'm sorry, your first name's what?
Daria.
If you guys don't mess her that up, come on.
Right? Like,
My first guy, you
we'll
guys
say,
have
we'll
no
say,
call
You
her
can
right.
call me Dee Dee
I'm
for
sorry,
short.
Did you say Derek? Was it Derek?
Derek.
Derek
Daria?
Swifthand, was that your
Derek?
name?
Derek.
This is gonna devolve into Derek. It just
Every
will.
name
Derek,
does
the second
eventually.
coming. Here we go.
All right, so looks like Daria
Experience my
is probably set. It looks like we're looking good. We got your gear set, talent, stats, all that. So Tim's character part 2. How we looking? I see some numbers in the skills now. That's good.
Yes. So I spent the rest of my experience. I wasn't counting as I went along. I just went until it hit its cap. I think that works probably, right?
Maybe, probably. I see a reasonable amount of trainings and focus. I see you took your extra experience in weapon skill.
Mhm.
Looks like your weapon skill is 2, which is pretty sweet. So that means you'll be rolling, I think, 5 dice for your weapons. Then we added those, right? To gear. I'll just click equip for both of your daggers and your shadow shroud. So that should add it to the combat tab. There we go. Very cool. And your spells and miracles are also on the combat tab if you weren't aware. So you can, when we're in game, you can just click on the name of the spells and stuff and have it roll. Or you can roll your own dice as well. But what's nice about that is a quick reference so you can see how many dice you want to roll if you'd rather roll physical dice.
Gotcha.
Right? Pretty cool stuff. So you feeling, I feel like yours is good to go, is done?
I think so.
I think so. Luckily, character creation is actually relatively simple. Just a fair bit of choices to make.
Yeah.
which is nice. Do you got an idea for a name or not yet?
I don't have one yet.
Are you? Did you look at the list in the book?
I did.
Nothing jumping out to you yet, though.
Nothing quite yet. No. Oh, and I went back to finish off my last spell too. So I did take the Steed of Shadows.
Oh, nice. I love that one.
There was one that seemed really cool where you like make a shadow in between two allies and they can choose to swap places.
What?
Like
Oh.
seemed pretty dope. Like someone gets up on the healer or something like that and you can actually just replace him with a pirate instead. It seems pretty dope.
Wait, so you can change? Is it only allies that you switch, or anybody?
Let me see. I think it was allies.
So you know, exact positioning isn't as important in this game. What if you have something like a backstab type thing that could certainly play into? Because we have the zones here, so as long as you're in the same
Yeah.
zone, you can move for free and make an attack in melee on something.
So
But
this is-
that could be really useful out of combat as well.
Yeah. So you chant a spell revealing a shadow path between two distant allies. Choose two allies within long range. The targets can immediately swap places if they choose.
That's really cool, though. I just like that as a spell is really neat. All right, so we feeling good with mechanics? We want to start with the 10 questions.
I think
gosh.
so.
I'm ready.
I love the 10 questions. So no pressure, but I want everybody to have an answer immediately. So as we talk about the 10 questions, I'm going to kind of shift what order we go in. I'm not going to do the same order every single time. I mentioned what these were at the beginning before we went live just a little bit to give some people some ideas. But so this is where we're going to flesh out what these characters are. At this point, we know what you can do. We have an idea of what you can do, especially with combat. You know, you have your armor and equipment and whatnot, but we want to know who is Hela, who is Dira, who is Soil, who is character 2 Tim. Oh no, really? I just saw Tim's name on Foundry. So who are you, Tim?
Doug.
Doug. I
Do 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 do.
want to change mine to Skeeter.
Dira Skeeter Swifthand. Hela Patty
I'll be Patty Mayo.
Mayonnaise.
Soil, also known as Pork Chop.
Oh my god.
Or are you really old as a Sylvaneth? Are you Mr. Dink?
So
That's what
I'm actually going through on this stuff and just doing the rolls to get all of my distinguishing features and physical stuff. So I'm 11 years old.
Right. Oh, wasn't
that's
Derek
young.
like
That's
2?
a young
or
son.
Derek was like
Derek-
15.
Yeah,
super
like
young.
I was technically
You
strangely
Lucky too.
strangely
That's a good one, actually.
Soil's going to be the same height as me. She's 6'2".
I'm just showing off.
Wow.
Well, it's
I'm
like
like
it's
3
5
tall.
foot. They start at 5'4", then you have to add in a dice roll to it. So
Oh,
it's-
sweet. So you did find that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Dope, dope, dope.
Weight was very hard to find because I'm sitting here and I'm like researching now into like, okay, what would be the average weight of a tree that's 6 foot? The best I could come up with is like, okay, if it's a medium-sized tree, it's looking around at least 240 pounds.
The trees are heavy.
I mean, I have burning soft orange eyes,
Ooh.
verdant green hair, and I just rolled for distinguishing features, and I have tattoos.
Like someone carved like
on
a
your
heart
bark?
with initials.
That's
in
what I'm
there.
trying to figure out.
It's
is like,
definitely what it
but
is.
what's interesting is I rolled for broken chains on wrists.
That's your tattoo?
That's technically the marking that is on it if I want to take it now or re-roll it. Yeah, I have broken chains.
Could have been someone that handcuffed
do you-
themselves to
where
you
do you
so that
find
you
all
wouldn't
this
get
roll
bulldozed
stuff?
by, you know,
Yeah,
the
I
city
remember
planning department or
Seeing
whatever.
it before. I don't know where
Yeah, I
we saw
can't
it.
find it.
Protect
now.
They were protesting.
the tree. Why are you doing this?
So
Is it
if you go
page
into
30?
on Foundry, you can add this kind of stuff. If you go to bio, you can type in like age, height, weight, eye type, eyes, hair.
Page 30 in the original book.
I think if you okay, if you open up tables in the roll table under the compendiums,
It won't let me roll. It says I don't have permission.
so check in the compendium. See, are you opening it from the compendium?
Yeah.
Okay, don't have permission.
Age, 6.
I thought I unlocked those.
I don't know why you're kind of trying to keep Doug down, but
Toggle
Times
edit
5.
lock. Nope, I locked them.
I wondered what it
Unlock.
I type, and some of the options are mournful, caring.
Yeah, I like the I
Weary.
type is like very descriptive like that.
Oh, so
and
this
and
one
those
you
you can also
roll-
just choose. You
Of
can roll
course.
or choose all of these features. If you definitely want your elf to be like purple eyes and black hair, that's fine. Or you can roll for it for funsies. Yeah, so I'm not sure why the tables aren't working. Ooh, somebody rolled something.
Did that just come from me, or was that? Oh, okay. You actually.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
you rolled a 1, Mike.
Yeah, I just tried rolling
Good
it out
job.
now I have what did I just roll for?
All right, so we want to go through the distinguishing
I'm gonna be
characteristics
so
before the 10
old.
questions. That is.
Oh,
fine
it
with
was
me.
what your tattoo is. So you got ocean waves along arms.
12, 20.
I mean, that seems a little bit better, but
27.
then again, it's like I'm thinking about like story-wise,
27
broken
times
a tattoo that looks
5.
like broken chains on a savannah.
So do you just rolled for the
I mean,
mittens
Because
and it?
there's actually quite a bit of lore to the branch with, so it's like
I'm 135
Interesting.
years.
Yeah,
because it would kind of work.
Fairly young for
I
an
don't
elf.
hate that.
Because like the whole thing is they're supposed to be like my whole goal is like I'm supposed to be in the glaive taking care of the dead.
Distinguishing.
Dude, I love these
I
stuff on Foundry. It's so
regularly
cool.
forget how cool of a race they are, just in general.
Like that's,
Sylvaneth are really neat.
so
Yeah.
technically a branch width is supposed to be like a grave tender.
Okay.
And to be called as a soulbound is essentially what's the name of the god that I have?
Daryl.
Alariel.
Alariel, she pretty much is like unwillingly telling me that I have to leave my duty. But like also trying to sit there and say that this isn't necessarily leaving my duty, I'm expanding it.
Okay. Right, so a big thing with the Sylvaneth are I think it's called soul pods that are inside you that like house your soul.
Yeah.
And like part of the branch witch's job is if a Sylvaneth dies to remove that soul pod because I think you can like regrow it into
I'm
somebody
supposed
new.
to bring it back to the enclave, the garden, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
to let it regrow, essentially.
Which is really cool.
And then there's a new soul that will come into it, but the whole thing with all the Sylvaneth is, so we have like multiple lives essentially living within our one body.
That's-
So
Yeah, their lore is actually really cool.
it's pretty decent. Like when I first read through it, I was like, damn, this is actually pretty freaking sick.
Yeah, they've expanded on so that Sylvaneth is relatively new with Age of Sigmar. They kind of built off of things from Wood Elves and Warhammer Fantasy and made them their own thing because there were dryads and treekin and tree men that have kind of got revitalized in Age of Sigmar, and they added a whole bunch of new stuff like branch witch. That is so hard to say. It was kind of its own thing, but they really expanded on it and added more lore to that to make them their own thing separate from the elves, which I actually really appreciate. I think is really cool.
So I'm actually gonna go with the broken chains thing because I'm like sitting there thinking like, all right, what would be lore? It's essentially if I got this broken chain thing, it's got it because Alariel is pretty much telling me that I'm free from my duty at the enclave.
Okay.
To a degree. But I don't know how to really go forward with that really.
Oh, that's right. Rink Rat. Very knowledgeable. So one sad thing about the Sylvaneth as a soulbound is there's no option to be reborn. Once they die, that's it. Becoming a soulbound and taking part in the ritual to become a soulbound, your soul pod is kind of separated from the rest of your enclave.
Yeah.
So you're like no longer.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like
my existence will stop.
yeah. So if
I
you
die-
die, you're dead. You do not regrow.
Now,
I find it interesting that no one was interested in the these guys. The what are they called? Stormcast Eternals.
Yeah,
Because
Eternals.
they're boring looking.
They're a little boring looking, but their lore has gotten a lot better over time, where they can be reborn. That's why they're Stormcast Eternals. And when they die, they go off as a bolt of lightning back to the realm of Azir, and Sigmar can reforge them into a new person. And every time they get reforged, they lose some of their memory and become a little bit more like automatons, which I think is really cool
That's
and
kinda cool.
adds something more to them. They're not just unkillable warriors. They're all a little tragic that they've left their old life and are forgetting it. Like a lot of them don't remember like if they had a family or anything like that. And what happens is Sigmar.
Sorry.
We're rolling dice. Oh god. Sigmar chooses people in the moment of their death. There's regular people. Only humans can become Stormcast, as far as I know. That like just before they're actually dead, they get hit with this bolt of lightning from the realm of Azir, and they are brought there, and Sigmar forges them into a Stormcast Eternal. So they don't even get to really choose. And he typically chooses people that are great warriors or whatever, but not always. And they just kind of are thrust into this existence, and they immediately start to forget their life, that first reforging, which is actually pretty cool.
Now, nothing's set on these characters now, right? Until we fully say we're good?
What are you, are you on the fence about something?
Well, I was just reading, I missed this little note they have in the thing, and it says, technically, I can say instead of having a set hair color, my hair can change per season.
That's...
So I can be an actual tree and be like, so if we go into, like, a fire realm, as you're saying, you know, what we were technically starting, it would be, like, autumn, so I'd be, like, this orangish red, yellow color. Go to
just bald in the winter.
Bald in the winter.
No trees.
Just
No leaves.
Yeah, so I did say the adventure technically starts in the realm of fire, and actually, but we go into the realm of life, Gyren, pretty quickly. So, like, as they're there, it'd be cool. Like your foliage changes to more of a green, or something would be really neat.
So I'm just gonna mark it. I'm gonna keep it at like regular is just verdant green, but I'm gonna say I also have seasonal.
Very cool.
That
I like that a
worked, yeah.
lot. All right. Anybody other physical features anybody wanted to point out if we've been adding that before we get to the questions?
Do you want to roll on the distinguishing features table for me?
Sure. Wait, what is this? Accent or speech? Wait. Well, there's a whole bunch of them. Do you want
Yeah, there's a
scent,
lot.
distinguishing features, scent?
Yeah, they were weird.
Wait, what?
There's one just called scent.
Actually, I chose scent. I smell of smoke and ash.
It's kind of dope.
What'd I get?
With the whole fire theme, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Whistles or sings when nervous is what I got.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's hiding in your cloak, just whistling.
Just trying to
A
sneak
minute
up on
too.
someone whistling a tune, like completely breaking the stealth. As
It's
a whole.
always the Doug theme song.
That's what you say as you stab someone.
Yeah.
That's really good. Let's see. There's a couple different distinguishing feature tables. There's
song that
affection.
everybody listened to in Doug. The
Killer
band.
Tofu.
Killer tofu. Ooh, you. Killer tofu. Distinguishing features affection. I want to roll for that just because I'm curious. I got whistles or sings when nervous again. What?
It's meant to be.
So Tim's just over here, just
Plays with
constantly
hair or
whistling.
beard. Cool.
Tim's
All
just
right.
constantly whistling in the shadows.
What's my eye type, Dan?
Eye type for elf.
For eye elf.
Soulful.
I see eye color.
Weary.
Oh, eye type is the same because it's descriptive,
You're descriptive.
qualitative.
Didn't you just finish one can?
No, this one is
Quail man.
for energy, and this one is for not energy.
All right, what
So
I
you've
get?
got an
for-
upper and a downer going at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's like doing Dayquil and Nightquil.
They
at the
balance
same
out,
time.
right?
Yeah.
I got wild eye type for Doug.
Wild eye type. Doug sounds like he would have wild eyes.
We found you in the tall grass. A wild Doug appears.
What's my age, Dan?
Elf age.
Oh, I can do that one.
I don't even see age.
All right, so
27. So
How
it's
did you get
3d6
your
plus
thing open from here.
15. So I got
Click on
27.
Oh, it still says fine. But it says you rolled as fine.
Yeah.
Hmm,
I
How
don't
did
know.
we
man.
change that?
I don't know.
Oh, Jess says Jess parentheses hella.
What?
Ella. That's two. 2 times we made that joke. All right.
Someone's going to keep track of that if you keep up with it, probably. In the chat.
Dan, what's my hair color?
Hair color elf. Roll. Honey blonde.
Honey blonde.
As opposed to. Oh, there's not another blonde listed. Just honey blonde.
Okay. Oh, I put that under weight. That's not right.
Your weight is honey blonde.
So is the 10 questions where we start doing like the faction stuff, or
So we'll talk about like where'd you come from? Where'd you go?
where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm looking at. It's like, all right, I'm into like backgrounds, so I have to faction, sub-faction, goals, connections. Is there like a set thing with that?
Dan, what's my eye color?
Did
Blue.
we do that one?
Blue.
No, that's hair
I
color.
already did
Whoops.
it. Blue.
Nice.
Oh, you rolled it for
No,
him?
I just pulled out a color.
Oh. Let's see what the roll says. I hope
Wild
it's
blue
sapphire.
eyes.
Jade, I rolled, but you can be sapphire.
It's blue.
Yeah, that's sapphire.
They're different.
You can
words,
write
Dan.
blue. I don't care.
It says blue. My eyes are blue.
Just say elf colors for eye are all like metallic or like gems. White or white. White, gold, jade, sapphire, amethyst, ruby, black. Kind of makes you think
Black,
I'm playing
what?
Pokemon.
I have halite eyes.
Like your eyes taste like salt.
It's a salt. Yeah.
All right. So I don't want to go over all the distinguishing features yet. Once we get into like the adventure, as you introduce like your characters, we'll talk about what you look like. So think about like if you have armor, what does it look like? And also a couple people had like leather armor, or like the Dark Elf Crosshair has heavier armor. Like what does that look like? So I want to get into more about the characters themselves and their like psyche. So the first question is pretty simple. Might not be so much depending on how familiar you are with the mortal realms here, but where are you from? So it says, are you native to Akshi, the realm of fire? Do you hail from the wildlands of Gur, the realm of beasts? Did you grow up in one of the newly formed cities of order like Excelsis or Hammerhall? Or did you grow up on the frontier fighting for your life? So we don't have to get like a definite like city name. I think knowing what realm you're from is important. So the 8 realms are the 8 realms, same thing as the colors of magic. So there's the realm of heavens, the realm of fire, the realm of life, the realm of light, the realm of death, the realm of beasts, realm of shadows.
What's the realm of shadows like?
I always forget the last one.
Very shadowy.
Heavens.
Didn't I say that one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Wow, what's the last? I always forget by the time I'm counting through. There's 8. What's the last one?
Heart.
Oh no, definitely not that. Let me look at my list
they-
of the
They
different
gotta be
types
in the
of
book
magic.
somewhere, right?
Gold, the realm of metal.
Oh.
I always forget metal for some reason. So think about which of those realms do you think you hail from, and like, really, are you from a city? Are you from a small settlement? Are you not from either of those things? Are you like, were you raised as like by wolves or whatever? Like,
Raised by squirrels in the forest.
so as a fire slayer, you're most likely from, I think they're called holds. Trying to think of what, so like you would have been part of a clan,
Mm-hmm.
right? But, you know, big part of that is like, why did you leave that clan to become a Doom
Right.
Seeker? Like what happened? So think about where you came from initially.
I don't know much about these realms, but I'm intrigued by the realm of gold. I like that.
I like
one.
that, yeah.
There's
And
actually really-
like a village, I'm thinking, like a little community.
Oh, their groupings are called lodges.
Lodge, yes, that's right.
So you're gray-fired, so you're from the gray-fired lodge, which actually works out well because that's something like established in the world. Or you could be from like a small offshoot of it. You don't have to be from the major lodge.
in the compendium, they have like neat little synopsises of each one of the realms.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the compendium in here is really, really dope.
What page?
Is that under journal entries?
Yes. There's one. It's like halfway down, just called the Mortal Realms.
Yeah,
And
nice.
it has-
There we
you
go.
Kind of pick them all.
If you
And
go
then there's
to,
things about the different
I don't know,
peoples, like
page
fire slayers.
169 on the original book. They
Okay.
start the descriptions.
Thank you.
Very cool. Does anybody have an idea? Was it Hella? Sounds like you're from the realm of metal, the realm of gold. Also known as Shaman.
I'm going to be from the realm of shadow.
Ulgu. I love that one. That's the name of it. Land of Shadows, a place of secrets and lies, where the laws of logic hold little sway. So I believe the god of Ulgu is one of the elf gods. What is the name? Left my head. Shoot, what is it? It starts with an M.
Morathi?
I don't think she's one of the gods of a realm, but she's like kind of like a demigod. Oh, I keep wanting to say Mithrandir, but that's
Malarian.
Gandalf. Malarian, thank you, Rink Rat. Who I believe is actually Malekith.
Oh, dope.
I'm pretty sure that was like his real name when he was named Malarian, and then he like changed his name later on. But
When he got that sweet bog tiger?
When he got what?
When he got that sweet bog tiger?
Yeah, for real. So yeah, the Realm of Shadow is pretty dope, and it's kind of where a lot of the Canaanites. This is kind of like their.
Yeah, that's what I was
place.
reading. So I was like, oh, dope. That seems perfect.
So like you could be from the major city there, Hagnar, the greatest temple city here. There was another one I just saw the name of.
Hushed Hills?
Hushed Hills, Misthaven.
Yeah, I'll read a little bit more into that.
Yeah, so do you want to be from a city or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Realm of Shadow in a city, which is nice. Yo, what's up, Reverend Man?
Hey, Ben.
Mike, you got an idea for soil?
For what? Where?
For where you're from?
Is this where the faction sub-faction stuff is coming from? Or? So
Um,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
faction, sub-faction. Is that on your sheet? Is that?
Yeah, it has for background you have faction and sub-faction. I'm trying to like figure out how this would all play out.
Oh.
Because technically, Sylvaneth don't really, from my understanding, there isn't like really. I just have a duty, being a branch witch. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the faction sub-faction thing is referring to exactly. Oh, your faction is Sylvaneth.
Oh, that's just
And you're, I believe, is what that's referring to.
Is that
No,
okay?
that's
So
like
that's,
the people you're part of.
oh, okay. And sub-faction is just I'm a branch witch.
I think. You really can't get it open?
Fingers are oily from the mayonnaise, and I have long nails.
Clean your hands then. That was really greasy. Gross.
Could hear how greasy that was.
So yeah, I think that's what it means by faction. So then like you can find a oh, what's it called? What are your groups of people called? Your enclave? No, that's for Idoneth Deepkin.
Rinkrat says they give other bonuses. They came in the Champions of Order.
Oh, okay. Rink Rat.
Also, Ben, we're making characters for Soulbound.
That is the wrong book.
These realms are depressing, guys.
Right?
As
It's
as I
Warhammer.
read
They very much are.
Have you not read about the Realm of Life? It's actually quite epic. I like it.
It's just filled with bugs. It's just oops all
Well,
bugs.
no, it's essentially it's like just a massive, ever-growing forest continuing to grow, and then
Oh, here we go. Subfaction.
apparently the Sylvaneth have been the strongest force against the darker powers.
Nice.
Like we've been the consistent, like we're always fighting them against them and pushing them back.
Okay, so during character creation, once you've chosen your archetype and know which faction or culture you're a part of, you can choose a subfaction. Subfaction provides you with a strong tie to the mortal realms, often to a city or realm, and can serve as a jumping off point for defining who your character is and what they believe in.
Dope.
This
okay.
is perfect timing for
Perfect.
this.
Yeah.
Did you join the Soulbound to honor the culture you come from, or were you cast out and banished, never to return? Each faction has between 4 and 8 sub-factions to choose from, so be sure to read through each before deciding. Subfaction bonus, as well as giving you a history and grounding in the world, your subfaction also grants you a bonus reflective of the culture's beliefs and practices. A subfaction's bonus is listed at the end of its entry and denoted with a bullet point. You gain this bonus in addition to your species bonus. Mark your subfaction in the bonus bonus in the talent section of your character sheet. So we'll have to add this manually because we don't have the module for Champions of Order. So if you look at subfactions, you are a Sylvaneth. So the subfactions, I believe, would be the Oakenbrow Glade, Gnarlroot Glade, Harvest Boon Glade, Ironbark Glade, Winterweaf Glade, Dreadwood Glade.
And where is this?
Or Heartwood Glade. So this is from the book Champions of Order. So you got a bunch of... So yours are called Glades. So like if we look at the Fire Slayers, it'll be the different lodges. So you are Grey-Fired, so your subfaction bonus is Spoils of Victory, Hella. The Grey-Fired are famed mercenaries, and their lodge has countless treasures and artifacts stored in its vaults. During character creation, you can choose to start with any one exotic item or an additional 500 drops. Additionally, whenever you undertake an endeavor to earn money, such as the labor endeavor, you can earn double the amount.
I missed the beginning of that. I didn't realize you were talking to me, and then you said, "That's you, Hella," and I was like, "What?"
So I had a feeling you didn't realize I was talking to you. I'm going to copy that into the chat in Foundry, so you can copy that into your background there. So yeah, you can start with an exotic item or 500 extra drops.
Wow.
What are some examples of exotic items?
Good question. Let's take a look in the book. Reading Rainbow. So let's look at other equipment. What are exotic items? I'm not really sure. They're etheric items for Karajan, but we're not. Nobody is one of those. Fire. I don't know if the runes would be exotic. We'll have to look a little bit more into that. I totally missed this faction-subfaction thing in the Champions of Chaos, but I think it's really cool, and I'm fine with including it.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see. The Daughters of Cain. Okay, so this is basically dependent on what city you're from. So you can be from Haydenr, which is the main...
That's the temple city, right?
The temple city.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, that was easy. So Devoted Disciples. I will, again, copy this real quick into the chat for you. So this says, your fanatical devotion allows you to stride into battle with righteous purpose, heedless of pain or injury. When determining your defense, add your body plus any levels of training in both reflexes and devotion. Additionally, when making a death test, you can add a number of dice equal to your training in devotion.
Nice. So this is something I would add to where?
Under Bio, the Bio tab, and Background. So your subfaction is Haydenr. H-A-G-G, and then a separate word, N-A-R.
I'm still having trouble trying to find where this is.
It's not on Foundry. It's part of a different book that.
On his stuff. Oh, okay.
Rachel, what was yours? Oh, Free Peoples, right?
Yeah.
You're part of the Free Peoples. So you can be part of the Anvil Guard, Bright Spear.
Yeah, I'm going to be based in Anvil
Yeah,
Guard.
like the
Okay. So
Like
you're
a-
from Anvil Guard.
guild or lodge or something like that.
Very cool. Let's see. What is that one?
Okay.
The first one. Easy. So illicit dealings. To have power and influence in Anvil Guard, you have to know the right people. Choose any two allies and contacts listed on page 123. This book, your relationship with those contacts as if made through the contacts endeavor, giving you access to the benefits of each. Alternatively, you can choose just one contact and instead gain the contact's greater benefit. That might not be as useful here because we're not in Anvil Guard, but let's double check what those contacts are. They might be a little more generic. 123. Okay, so contacts are more general. It could be like an Elven Shadowblade, a Celestial Seer, a Covenant Sister, Collegiate Scholar, Occultist, Devoted to Sigmar, Engine Rigger, Free Guild Captain, Caradron Captain, Noble, Merchant, a whole bunch of stuff here. Wow, okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what we can again dive into that a little bit deeper later on because that's a whole new system I haven't read over yet. All right. And then I think we just have the Sylvaneth left, right? For sub-faction?
Yeah, trying to just figure that out. So I'm faction is Soulbound. If the sub-faction is the only thing I'm just confused on.
Right, is the Glade here. So I'll read through them. Tell me which one you sound interested in.
Okay.
So there's the Oaken Brow Glade, the Gnarl Root Glade, Harvest Boon, Iron Bark, Winterleaf, Dreadwood, and Heartwood. So if any of those sound interesting, I'll read over the bonus you get from that and see if you want to stick with that.
Well, since my whole deal, I guess, is about, like, bringing back the dead, what about Harvest?
All right, Harvest Boon Glade. So the bonus is a brighter dawn. You believe there is a brighter future ahead for your people and for all the mortal realms, and your belief fills the others with hope. When you undertake an endeavor to reduce doom, doom reduces by 1 more. Additionally, you have an advantage on tests to inspire others and shake them from malaise.
And this is called Harvest Boon?
Yes, Harvest Boon Glade.
That sounds pretty good.
All right. If you want to compare that to another one, we can always look at another one.
Well, I guess, what about the last one that you said there, the Heart one?
I think it was Heartwood Glade.
Yeah.
Heartwood Glade. Call the Wild Hunt. You are a living embodiment of Kurnoth's teaching, invoking an infectious curiosity with a war cry or blast from a hunting horn. As a free action your turn, you may call the Wild Hunt. You and allies in your zone increase your melee and speed 1 step, and all decrease your defense 1 step. That doesn't seem to fit your idea as much.
No, but it does sound cool because that would help in a way. Nah, I think the Harvest Boon would probably work. Oh, great backstory.
Let's see. There's other ones that make you tougher. Oh, this one kind of works. The Gnarl Root Glade is Eldritch Secrets. You're a scholar of arcane arts and have unlocked some of the Eldritch Secrets of Gyran. During character creation, you can create a spell as if you had successfully undertaken the Create Spell endeavor. No, I don't think I want to get into creating spells. That sounds complicated.
That's
I didn't read all through that one.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm ready to sit here and be like, yes, I know all the specifics on what I want to do now.
Right. Okay. So cool. So you got a brighter dawn. So you believe there's a brighter future. So that can really play into your character. Maybe you're
And I can
pretty
inspire
optimistic.
people to a degree.
I like that. Did I copy that one in? Yes. Okay. Great.
Which is interesting because it's like, on the same time, my whole aspect is like, I'm supposed to just guide you back to your resting place. I'm essentially a greener Grim Reaper.
Well, you don't kill you.
No, I don't kill them, but
dead.
I'm just like coming over. It's like, come with me, and I will make you come back to life.
All right, cool. So that really fit in with the "Where are you from?" part of the 10 questions. So we got a little bit more of an idea for that.
Jesus. Oh God, this is gonna be fun.
Okay, so where are you from? So we got some ideas. We know Doug is from the Shadow Realm. I'm assuming Doug is also an alias, right? Maybe.
It is now.
What's your real name? All you need to call me is
Douglas.
Doug.
Yes.
Jeez. And you're from what was it?
Hagnar.
Hagnar. What was that called? Not a temple city.
Yeah, they called it the Grand Temple City. I
Okay.
think.
So are you from the Realm of Life soil?
Yes. Sorry, I'm watching Red Zone right now.
Gotta check in on the scores. I get it.
I'm checking my football team, and we're actually struggling against Carolina.
Very surprising.
That is, but then again, like I said earlier, this is why my offense is scary. I can't tell what we're going to do. Are we going to drop 30 to 40 points, or we can't freaking complete a pass? Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm from the Realm of Life.
Very cool. Hella, so Greyfired, you from the Greyfired Lodge, but you said Realm of Metal, right?
Yeah, I was reading through them. I think that one works.
That's pretty cool. So do
Yeah.
you feel like you are from like a large settlement of Dwarden, or are you from like a free city when you were like in the Dwarden like section of that city?
I was thinking like a more of a village type area, but I don't know
Okay.
if Dwarden live in village.
That's fine. No, they can do kind of live however you want. And then how about, I'm going to have to read this name 100 times before I really get it down.
Doug.
Dira.
D-O-U-G.
Dira.
Daria.
Daria.
I still can't get it
It's
right,
like
even
Daria,
reading
but
it.
it's
Yeah.
Daria.
Oh, okay.
Like
Derek.
Darius.
Because she's so
Alright.
Derek.
Daria.
If you can relate it to a 90s cartoon character,
it's
it's
like
way easier
Daria
for me to
from
read.
Daria.
So we got Doug, we got
We can do
Daria.
Daria.
We got
So Daria,
we
but
gotta
not.
figure out ones for us now.
All right, so Daria, where have you decided where generally you might be from?
So is like Anvilgard located in any specific of these realms, or?
Oh, that's right. You said Anvilgard. I believe it's in the realm of fire.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Here we go. I was trying to read through and I couldn't really tell.
I think it's one of the big cities, because I believe it's part of the Great Parch. It's pretty well
Yes, it is part of the Great Parch.
defined area. All right, so you're from the realm of fire. So do you feel, were you born in the realm? Were you like born in Anvilgard, or have you moved there during your life?
I've moved there during my life.
Because you said you're what, like 147?
135.
That's close.
So we probably started in the realm of beasts.
Oh, cool. So is that one reason why you're a
Yeah.
beast hunter?
Yep.
Nice.
I got the intuition, the animal intuition.
I like that a lot. So you're originally from the realm of beasts, but now you live in the realm of fire, or you did until you became a soulbound, and now you're here. All right. So next question: what is your family like?
I don't have a
So
family.
do you even know? Do you even
Oh.
remember?
I mean, I'm technically just a part of a community, right?
So like the whole glade is your family,
That's
essentially,
it.
right?
We just exist.
Tim should whistle the Quail Man theme when he kills someone. Cortex said that's so good.
Right.
So your family's the whole glade. So the Sylvaneth are very closely linked together in all kinds of ways. But you've been cut off from that, being a soulbound now. So
Yeah.
we can talk. We can
what
work on
is-
that with your character. How does that affect you?
Well, so that's the funny thing is, like, again, into the lore bit and whatnot, is technically they look at me, all Sylvaneth look at me knowing I'm soulbound and, like, have a lot of respect and honor for me being that. But there's also a huge sense of sadness because they know, again, my line is done in terms of Sylvaneth and everything. Because
It's a
upon-
major sacrifice that
Yeah.
you've made to cut yourself off from the
I'm
glade.
done. Like, there's nothing more that I can still hear the song that comes from the goddess. I can, communicate and stuff like that. But upon my death, there will never. I'm done. No one's going to claim my body again. No one's going to take my soul and bring it back.
Very cool.
So
So this was more
Impressive.
like. Did you?
it is a
offer-
little bit, but I don't know. It's I don't know. It's kind of like honorable and humbling, but at the same time, it's also like, yeah, it's very sad. It's like, imagine it's like coming home and your parents are like, well, you're the one who's got to go off and do things now, and we're never going to see you again. It's like,
Right.
damn.
So do you feel like did you like volunteer for this, or were you chosen, or
Chosen. Every Sylvaneth is apparently chosen unwillingly by the god. She doesn't want to
Okay.
because she knows what it means. So
So-
she doesn't want to call. She doesn't want to call upon a Sylvaneth.
I really like that as a character building thing. So you can kind of decide, how does Soil feel about that? Do you resent being chosen against your will? Are you okay with it? Do you feel that honored? Are you like into it and like you have to do the best you can? Or are you like, I hate this. I'm gonna do it because it's my duty, but like
That's why
is it
it's-
awful?
That's why I was like thinking back at the tattoo that I got and everything, the chains.
Oh, the broken chain, yeah.
And everything. And it's
I
like
like
that's
that a lot.
interesting how that could possibly play out.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how I'm going to create this
Soil's-
backstory.
Soil is quickly becoming a really interesting, complex character here.
Soil's
Not
also
trying to be.
Only
I like
11
it.
years old, right?
Yeah.
That's what
I
I,
know,
was
right?
just gonna say. Like,
Talk about
age-wise,
childhood trauma.
right? Like,
And we have to remember too that 11 years old, not necessarily equivalent to human 11 years
but that's
old,
what I
right?
was wondering. What is it? Yeah, what is it equivalent?
Think
Well,
about- you could even-
I'm going to say that.
It's like in dog years.
Is it?
Well,
he's
dog
like
or are
years.
you
seven.
actually like
one
a
of the things
toddler?
that I'm looking at that because I'm like that would be very weird on that whole thing with like the childlike stuff. But again, the whole idea is this could be just one cycle of life. Like I could have already been reborn a couple of different
Oh,
times.
very true.
Mm.
That's a cool way to think of
And
it. yeah.
everything. So it's like, okay, like I could sit here and say I'm 11 years of my third cycle.
Yeah. Okay. So something else you can
Yeah, something
think
like
about.
that.
We don't have to
like that.
define that
Yeah.
just yet.
Yeah.
Anybody else have an idea what your family was like?
I don't talk about my family.
Ooh. As a
That's
Doom
gonna
Seeker,
play
that
into
makes
my
sense.
question of your biggest secret, which will also not be divulged because I'm a Doom Seeker.
All right. As long as you, I want to know your secret. But
Yes,
you don't have
but
to
I'm not
tell
gonna-
the group and listeners just yet. That's something that could come up during play and everything. How about the elves? Are you related?
No.
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 Black sheep from the family, 5 times moved.
So,
It reminds me
actually-
of that time we were on a trip and there was a girl named Paris and somebody was joking like, "Oh, if you marry Tim, you'll be Paris, France." And she's like, "That won't be a problem." Tim was like, "Wow, I don't even know you." It was so harsh.
It was out of nowhere too.
Yeah, right? It was completely undeserved.
So Doug is from kind of a high society dilettante
Okay.
family.
Oh.
Hoity-toity.
Because the realm of shadow is all about politics and stabbing people in the back and just getting one over on your neighbors.
Right. If anybody's familiar with like Menzo Baranzin from the Forgotten Realms with like the Drow, I imagine
Yeah.
a very similar type of atmosphere. Constant backstabbing.
So Doug isn't like particularly great at stuff outside of stabbing things because that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But definitely got in trouble, partied too much, wanted to be an actor, right?
God. I love it.
So just kind of, instead of community service is, you got to be a soulbound now to, pull our family's name out of the scrap heap.
Okay. Okay.
at
So you're doing it to honor your family name.
Uh,
So we need a family name for Doug. You can't just do Doug.
So not to honor my family. I was more like fine, Doug will be a soulbound or whatever, and like we'll get a slap on the wrist and it'll be fine.
Okay.
Like it is not. He's not doing it out of goodness in his heart. or
Okay.
anything. He
So
was
again,
forced
we can,
to.
we can kind of explore during the game. Do you
Yeah.
feel resentment for being a soulbound?
Oh, for sure. It sucks. You got to do all this other stuff. now.
I feel
my
like this
business
is the
is just-
connection that we have already, though, is like family honor or like guilt, possibly, or like
Yeah.
necessity.
Just a sadness. There's a
Yes,
sadness
pushing
to
you
it.
Like it.
toward.
Well, isn't it like the
Soulbound.
whole thing with the Soulbound is like it can be very just sad to be picked.
Kinda, yeah.
Like it's just like, okay, you're chosen. All right, well, I guess my
Yeah.
whole life is now done from what I was
Yeah.
doing
Right, you're now
before.
your life is in service of others. You're here
Yeah.
to fix problems. You're here to go into battle.
And this guy's just been causing nothing but problems.
Probably.
Pretty much.
He
like
is Doug.
I'm like the forgotten Baldwin brother. I was just like, whatever.
I like Adam.
We're gonna have an encounter one of these times. One of us is gonna see this wanted poster. This looks a lot like you, Doug.
Well, yeah.
My name's Doug.
To not be on page 6, I had to be a soulbound. It's like, okay.
All right, Daria.
Kind of a loner. Don't really remember my true family.
Okay.
But since I'm out at sea a lot, I would imagine the people I care most about are my crew
Okay. I
on
like that.
this black arc ship. I need a name for my ship. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, so what was the name of your former ship? So that's something we
Yeah.
can kind of come up with. Like, what was your captain? Were
Yeah.
you the captain?
Yeah.
Think, but what caused you to transfer from the Black Ark to
Mhm.
being a soulbound? And we don't have to define that just yet. Something to think about as
Yeah.
we go through the rest of the questions. So I like that. So your family, you're old and maybe you don't remember them. Maybe it wasn't really important to you. Maybe you were drafted into the Black Ark real young. You have changed locations, even realms. So it's something that was left behind, especially since you're relatively old compared to everybody else. Did you roll your age, Tim? For
I
Doug?
did.
How old are you?
27.
But that's quite the
you're-
range you can roll. You got 27. She got 135.
Wait, really?
And you're an elf?
Yeah.
You're like 4 years old.
Mine it said like 3d6 plus 15.
You're a wee little baby.
Plus
Maybe I-
15.
Did
Mine
you?
said
Are you
I might-
sure?
I might
Mine
not have
said
used the right
times
one.
5.
Oh, I might have rolled as a human.
Let's double check that. That is.
You're definitely supposed to roll like 6 dice and then multiply it by
Okay,
5.
yeah, I definitely
Or, like, 5
multiply
dice.
anything.
Where was that on? I don't see that in the compendium.
It was creating your character. Character
Looking
creation,
under tables.
elf. Nope. Adding detail. Yes. Yeah, 3d6 plus 15.
Oh, that's different from the one in the book. Or was I looking at the wrong one?
Oh, it is the same
Mine
as
is
human in
times 5.
Foundry, so they may have like copy pasted it wrong or something.
Oh, gotcha.
That is very possible. So let's look at that. Eddie, in the book, it says elf is 66 times 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
just mislabeled in Foundry in accident.
So what I meant to say, instead of
So what I-
27, I'm actually $1.25.
okay, so
Oh.
125.
Yes.
So she's got 10 years on you. I don't know if you know that about each other. So maybe she holds that over your head that she's older and more experienced.
By like 10 years. That's
Yeah.
not even nothing.
I'm 70, by the way. Does that mean that I'm old for a dwarden, or am I
Middle
like
age.
okay?
Kind of, I mean, not quite middle age, but like where we are in human age, sort of.
I might want to make myself older then.
You want to be a little more experienced?
Yeah.
That's you could.
I wanna
I'm
be,
totally fine with you
like-
just choosing. If that fits your character concept better.
I want to be around like in my 50s, human equivalent.
Okay.
So my like.
Because dwarves.
Can I also
Dwarden-
be $1.25? I mean, like, hey, Doug, what's up?
I feel like that makes you relatively old for a dwarf, but a dwarden, but that is totally fine.
So it is odd. So like on the character creation thing on Foundry, like it looks like it had just shifted over. So it's for Dwarden, it also says 66 times 5.
Oh, whoops. All right.
So
If
fix,
I can
fix your
like
stuff.
send them a message or something.
Foundry.
So it said dwarden tend to live for considerably longer than humans, often upwards of 200 years. So if you wanted to be like more of a long beard kind of thing, it'd be, I think 125 makes
that.
sense.
Because however old you are, that's how long your beard is.
You get more rings.
Do
in
I
your
have
beard,
a
think,
beard as a woman?
You don't have to have a beard, no.
I'm
Yeah.
playing a
Yes.
female character. You also talked about not wearing armor and shirts. It's like I'm gonna be out there.
You can wear supportive garments. That's fine.
No,
like they
That's one of your
they go
talents.
around
That's one of the
topless.
talents.
They don't wear armor.
That's how
I was
you
like,
dis-
okay.
That's how you distract those skeletons before they make their way over.
That's why she doesn't talk about her family. She's constantly
That's-
embarrassing them.
You can just like whip them out one at a time or both,
Get one too many drinks into this one, boys. Woo!
That's amazing.
All right, I'm gonna be 101. 101.
Okay, so good. So the next one.
Your boobs hang low. Do they wobble to it, bro?
So kind of building off of what was your family like? I know a lot of us don't
God.
remember, but what was your childhood like? So children are often blessedly unaware of the events going on around them, but the violence and danger of the mortal realms is not something so easily ignored. Did you spend your childhood running from the cannibal hordes, or were you cloistered in relative safety behind city walls? Did you have a lot of friends, or did you spend your time alone studying or practicing what would become your craft? Was everything gifted to you, or did you need to fight for every scrap you had? So a couple different ideas there. I know Daria said you were from the realm of Gur, the realm of beasts. So chances of having a nice, safe childhood is probably
I
pretty
did not put
low.
that together. I'm sorry, I'm over here going the land of Gur.
Yeah, it's Ghur. I love that one. Grr.
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 Where all the animals are.
Rawr. The land of Rawr.
I love how not creative they were with some of these things. They're just like, oh, it's that word, but we'll just put this letter in front of it and
Yeah.
call it a
The realm of growls was a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
So they-
So what are we thinking? Anybody who remembers their childhood? I know for Soil that's going to be a bit different. What do you count your childhood? Were you just like a little sapling?
Well, that's actually something I'm thinking about, and I think I actually already came up with a decent sized answer because after saying about like rebirth cycle into it, I just did a quick dice roll to say it's like, all right, what cycle of birth am I on?
Cool.
Ooh.
So technically, I changed my age there, so I'm 11 years on my second cycle. So I'm
Second
still relatively young in terms.
Yeah.
I would
barely
I
an
was-
acorn.
Pretty much.
So that's up
Um,
to you. Is how did your first cycle go? Did you live through a whole cycle, or were you killed in some kind of combat and born? Do
yeah,
you
so
know
that's-
that? Do you remember that?
That's what I'm trying to get to, but essentially, because again, everything that's really said is just, it's like when you're placed, you grow until eventually your body is formed, and then you're off on your duty. So it's like, to me, the best I could come up with is just like childhood is just pretty much just a time of growth for me.
Okay.
I'm just I wait until my body is strong enough to perform my duties, and then I go to the duties that the goddess has said.
It's a lot of duties that goddess has for
Yeah.
you.
A lot of duty.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what it says. It's like everything is saying that we are tied to her. She is our quote unquote mother goddess.
Right.
We're completely tied to her. And so it's like since she's tied to the realm of life and everything, we are just an extension of her. And all of us have a particular thing that we're supposed to do.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
that's the only thing I could think of is at this point. It's just, I'm just sapling, grow. Here's your scythe. Go about what you're supposed to do.
Nice.
So I guess in that way, it's like, I really don't have a childhood. This is really getting depressing all of a sudden.
Cortex in chat is going to liven up. He says, so Mike is Groot.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Groot that can do magic.
Yeah.
Aw.
And has a big old worm friend instead of a raccoon.
Yeah, Skitter.
They're bitter. Anybody have an idea about your childhood?
Well, in the realm of metal, it says things are very transient. So I'm going to say that I moved around a lot. It was pretty nomadic.
Another cheese stick? Oh, no, this time it's fruit snacks.
No, it's for Felix.
Wow, this one is actually really tough to open.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
I got it. I'm not even going to take a dad tax. That'll be nice.
Barely do it. I can't.
You got scissors upstairs, too. You could just snip. All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna say I was very nomadic growing up, but I want to look at more of the Dwarden stuff and see what it says a bit more. But
Okay.
I'm thinking more like a pretty happy childhood.
All right,
As
so
happy
something
as it
happened
can
later
be,
on
as happy as it can be.
in the mortal
in,
realms.
yeah.
So, and you said you were from a small village, right?
Well, that's where I was
Right.
last. Yeah, because my childhood was more nomadic.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You said nomadic. All right.
My childhood was great.
Oh,
Like,
right.
He
Yeah.
had a
Don't-
silver spoon.
There were like 3 silver spoons. Like,
Whoa.
yeah. No, so yeah, just completely privileged, rich, literally everything handed to him, and just kind of lived that Pete Davidson life. You know what I mean? Just kind of
Oh.
being a scumbag a little bit,
You got big weird eyes?
big weird eyes. Until one day, me and the boys were, cavorting around, and we defecated into the cauldron of blood, which I guess is an important thing in the temples.
Yeah,
of-
no wonder you were sent off. That's
So-
awful.
So yeah,
Yikes.
that's what the story is now. At least
That's
it changes literally every time it
Okay.
comes up. Yeah,
I say that's like major. That's like
Mhm.
super like blasphemy.
right. So that's obviously why
Okay.
I had to become a soulbound.
So good childhood things handed to you, but you took advantage of that and went over the top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice. All
Yeah,
right.
and like I said, wanted to be an actor real bad. So every opportunity to perform or do something like that, he was awful, at, just real bad.
Okay.
But
All right, Doug. We see you. Daria,
All right. So
getting it.
I'm very old, and we're not really sure what happened when I was in the realm of beasts, but periodically I'll have these like flashbacks
chat, sorry.
where I'll like I won't be surrounded by beasts, but I myself will feel like a beast.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, it's almost as if I'm in like a beast and I'm like running around beast mode. Yeah,
Beast
I'm in beast mode. So I have those flashbacks, but what I do remember is from a pretty young age, I was kidnapped by the Black Scale Coil, which is like this shadowy,
Ooh.
piratey organization. And so I was like trained by them, where I got a lot of my skills from. But I was able to escape, and now I have my own ship. But I really want to do my own thing, because I don't want to feel like I have to abide by anyone's control or anyone's rules anymore.
Okay. Very cool. I like that.
In in my brain, you're the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Right. Yeah,
That's
right?
what my head keeps going to.
For
I'm like,
real.
pirates. Mm.
But mixed with like Teddy Roosevelt as a monster hunter.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Every fight you start every fight with just one sword in your left hand until it gets serious, and you say, "Well, I have a secret."
Yeah.
Killing
Pull
all
out
the
left
ROUS.
hand.
Then she pulls out
Yeah.
the other 4 cutlasses and
The
Like Edward
RUSs.
Bag.
Edward Scissorhands.
Careful joking about the RUSs. They are real in the mortal realms.
Oh my
They're just called Skaven instead.
Oh my God.
All right, so next question. Good one. Who is your greatest ally or best friend? Could be somebody in the party. Maybe not. Maybe you had to leave them for the Soulbound. Maybe something happened to them. So it says someone has been through thick and thin with a shoulder to cry on or to lend a blade. Who would you go to in your time of utmost need? Did you fight alongside them years ago, or did you grow up in the ash-covered slums of Hammer Hall together? Perhaps they are a mentor who stepped in and plucked you from obscurity. The bonds of friendship forged in the Age of Sigmar are as strong as Sigmarite, and someone out there is a true ally.
Question.
Mhm.
Are we all newly soulbound, or have some of us, like, been... Is that all,
soulbounding
like...
for a while.
So
Yeah.
that's up to you. You could be like, maybe you were part of a different soul-bounded group before, soul-bonded group, and maybe you're the only survivor, or maybe something happened that broke you. Maybe you've done this before. Maybe you guys are all newly soul-bound and you just met each other on the way to this this first mission.
So speaking
Starting
of,
a campaign, I think that makes more sense, that you're all pretty new to this, but we could say you knew each other somehow if you want.
so being soulbound, you're soulbound to like a group?
You are soul bonded together. You went through a ritual together
Gotcha.
to literally become soul bound. That's why you can access soul fire.
Okay. And we have to, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Who put these guys together?
Something we can kind of talk about too.
Yeah, so is it like so is there like a council or something that's like, oh, we have 4 people, we're going to soul bind them, you know, here's your name tags, this is what you do now.
So it's called the Ritual of Binding.
Mhm.
So I'm obviously not going to read it over this whole thing. But
Why
it
not?
says, the Soulbound are an ancient order dating back to the Age of Myth. Mortals hand-chosen by the Pantheon of Order for their heroic deeds and bound together to fight against the ever-encroaching evils of the mortal realms. So I said we had to choose characters of order, not destruction
Right.
or death or
Gotcha.
chaos. So we know Soil was directly chosen by the goddess of life, Alariel. So like if you're from Ulgu, you probably were chosen by I forgot the name already, Malarian.
Okay.
Or like maybe because you're from Hagnar, maybe your name was put up like to Morathai and she like passed it on to whatever
Gotcha.
and was like, this guy's a menace. He needs to be taught a lesson, become a soulbound kind of thing.
Okay.
The lore of the world of metal. Who's the god of the realm of metal?
I don't remember reading it on there.
Tungsten.
It might be Grunganai, the dwarf god. That one has completely left my head. And then Daria is from, you were from Gur originally.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the god there is Gorka Morka, who is not a god of order, but maybe you've been passed on to one of the other people, other gods of order that kind of is more connected there.
Can you just say that word again, please?
Well, Gorka Morka.
Morka.
Yeah, so there used to be Gork and Mork, and the
Bunch of Gorka Morka right there.
yeah, one was cunning but brutal, and the other one was brutal but cunning. And eventually, with the creation of the mortal realms, they got fused into one being.
Their spells and stuff in the old world stuff were hilarious. You would summon Gork's foot to just stomp on the battlefield. or
Yep.
Things like
Yeah.
that.
So good. So let's see. Who is the god of the realm of metal?
Grungni.
Gorka.
I think it is. Okay, it is.
Morka.
It is Grungni. Okay. So the god of the Dwarden.
Thanks, Cord.
So you may have been chosen by Grunganai himself.
Okay.
To be a soulbound. And then, yeah, so Gur is a bit different because it's the god of Gur is not one of the gods of order. So, again, it could be something like adjacent. Or it could have been after you moved to Akshi that you decide that you were chosen. And I don't remember who the god of Akshi is. That one I'm not sure. I don't think that one's order either, but I can't remember. See if anybody in chat can remember who the god for the realm of Akshi is. All right. So we could still be talking about who is your greatest friend or ally.
Kyle, he was my best friend.
His name would be Kyle.
We got in a whole
Right.
bunch
It's
of
not
trouble
Skeeter?
together. It's not.
Skeeter.
Skeeter's his brother, but it was one of our ally houses in on the cul-de-sac, and yeah, we grew up together, spent all our lives together, just got in trouble together. Dope dude. We went to stab school, graduated the same year.
Stab school?
I assume that's what it's called, stabversity, maybe.
Where you learned to be real good at stabbing.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's a god of murder and blood. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they have like a taekwondo
He
class.
graduated top of his class. Magna cum stabby.
I didn't graduate. I dropped out. But like,
He just couldn't complete the test.
Of
Oh,
course
that's
you
just
did.
the right twisting.
Oh, was the god of actually Grimnir? And then he died in that battle against Volcatrix. So another Dwarden deity, I think. So like there isn't a god of actually anymore because he was destroyed way back when. Okay, cool. So Kyle. But you don't do you have any way to contact him anymore, or was it like
it was probably part of the court order that we aren't allowed to hang out anymore.
that makes sense?
Yep.
But you could like shadow blast to him, or what is it called?
I shadow blasted Kyle way too much.
Whatever it is. Okay.
Shadow
so,
step.
Yeah, there's probably all sorts of skullduggery. Yeah, so we can still hang out or talk or, go to Denny's at 3 a.m, whatever it is.
All right. We Daria or Soil, best friend or best ally.
Oh, but Kyle probably got like not the good end of the stick when we got in trouble together, and I became a soulbound.
Oh.
He was probably arrested or something. I don't know.
I think so. I'm gonna have my greatest ally is going to be a fellow privateer who was also kidnapped, and so we kind of learned the trade together, and I left them in charge of my ship when I became soulbound.
All right. So is that like your first mate kind
Yeah.
of person?
And their name will be Gwythe.
Gwythe. Was it another elf or were they?
Yes.
Okay. Nice. So the next question is essentially the Oh no, we didn't get. Did we get Soils yet?
Yeah, kind of just like finishing up.
Is it the sun?
Is it what?
I was gonna ask if it's your bitter grub.
Aw.
Not well. I could have done that, but I actually went something. I guess I'm doubling down on the sadness bit. I guess.
Okay. I don't mind that.
So callback Duroc, which is what his name was.
Derek?
Derek.
Garak.
Derek. Oh, he's your best friend.
So, well, I have it. So, all right. So, ally, Duroc, the Burnt, a Kurnoth hunter who protected my life pod from my first cycle's end, allowing my soul to take new form. A lot of respect for them, and now that I am soulbound, I look to follow their example. Was
Okay.
given the name of the Burnt due to having most of their body being burned black by the forces of the Plague God. Because I guess we're constantly at war with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have an ally. It's you guys.
Aw.
It's the allies you meet along the way.
All right. So you're like super connected to the rest of the Soulbound party.
I just don't have anyone else.
So she's also going for the sad angle. Woof. All right. I like that a lot, though. So, like, your drive is to die in glorious battle, but you have these new friends that are the only real friends that you have currently.
Yeah.
So that I'm interested to see how you play that. Like, are you like real clingy to them? Are you really protective of them, or are you like, what's what I'm looking for? Like, not overbearing, but like, do you let it be really known that they're your friends, you're their friend, kind of thing? Like, are you really into them?
Are you
I can't think of the
obsessed
word.
with us?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm a mom.
Okay. Okay, so you're the mom of the group that's trying to die in glorious battle. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to see how
No,
that plays
Tim,
out.
it is not your turn to die.
I'm really
for
I
your
excited.
must
brother.
save all of you so that I can die.
I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
But Ma,
You're gonna be a problem.
Yeah, probably.
that's it. You're grounded. Go to the back of the
You
troop.
can't ground me. You're
Black-
not my real mom.
All right, so the next one is the opposite of that. Who's your worst enemy or bitter rival? Again, is it in the party? Is it somebody else from your past? Is it somebody that you still might run into? Is it a rival privateer captain? Or is it somebody in your crew?
My rival is Kyle's older sister, Megan.
I was going to say, is it Kyle?
Megan.
I almost... we dated for a little bit,
Always
but like it didn't
Megan's.
end well.
didn't end well.
Yeah, we both cheated on each
Badass.
other at the same time, trying to hit it, but we cheated with the same person. It was kind of it was a whole deal. So then
Three ways gone wrong.
Then we became
That's
bitter
above
rivals,
triangle.
constantly one-upping each other, and she'd be mad that I was hanging out with Kyle, and I was mad that she existed still. Like, it was like a whole thing.
Okay.
Megan.
So is Megan another elf then?
Yeah.
Is Kyle an elf?
Yep.
Okay. I kind of figured, but
Are you lying about it right now?
Probably.
so with the 3 silver spoons you had in your mouth as
Yeah.
a kid, do you how do you see elves compared to the other species out there? Do you feel that you're better than other
Oh, yeah,
people?
100%.
Okay. I kind of figured.
Mhm.
So do you
And I'm super tall, too, so I look down on them both
How tall are
physically.
you?
Oh my God, how tall are you?
6'6", I think.
I'm 6'7".
Why the hell am I 4'8"?
It's the hat. You're not actually 6'7".
You're
it's the
dwarven, of
hat.
course you're
I
shorter.
know, but you all are over 6 foot.
Everybody's over 6 foot except for Hella, who's under
both
5.
2 feet taller than me.
That's amazing. So you look down on people metaphorically and literally, except for Daria.
You don't appreciate real art. That's what the other races don't get.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I like that.
I have a keen sense for,
Art.
art.
Cool. All right. So your rival is Megan.
Megan. Megan.
Bitter X.
Yep.
Nice.
I'll have to talk with you more privately about who my rival is as
Okay.
well.
So you don't talk
Is
about.
it also Derek?
among-
I got all these secrets.
I like. Well, that makes sense with the Doom
Yes.
Seeker, right?
Okay.
You're making up for something, atoning for something. That
So
you probably
real-
won't talk about.
I'll come right out with this one and everything. This one is actually going to be fun, and it's going to involve you.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Because of
Hey.
essentially, I'm trying to focus on this, and I'm like thinking like this is more of like almost like I don't want to say like a cleric class that I'm doing, so I was like very devout and everything.
Okay.
So since my whole duty, of course, is about making sure life is continuing as well as protecting the natural order, those who waste life so easily, or those who do not care for the natural world, are considered like not exactly the most friendliest people to me. So this is putting me at odds with certain members of the party who seek to die.
I would argue that I don't have a problem with the natural order of things. I just have a
As long
different
as she's
view on what.
first in the natural order of
No,
death.
because mine has so much more to do with honor and dignity. Like I'm not just gonna,
No,
I'm not going just to go.
I understand that, but at the
Yeah.
same time, to me, it's like
I am a doom seeker. I'm
you're seeking that death, and to me, for what I'm doing, is like you shouldn't
yeah.
be seeking death. You should
Mhm.
be living your life, because then I can, if you were to be a Sylvaneth, I would then
especially
go
as
like
you who are on your last life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You must. Do you, so
It's
do
gonna be
you
interesting.
know that Soil's on their second go round here?
I don't know. Have you shared that with us?
I haven't
or-
even gotten to that.
I
part
don't
to
know.
really say
We'll
that,
see. We'll see.
Gonna be interesting if Helen knows that. Like, would you be really jealous, or would you be like, if you died, you should be dead. You know what I mean? Like, or is it like, oh, you've already died once? That's what I'm trying to do, kind of thing.
Lucky.
Couple ways you could go there. Yeah.
I mean, mine has to do with honor, like I said, and dignity, and being like atoning for things. So
Death envy.
I don't know.
So does that make Soil your? No, you said you have to. You're gonna tell me off mic about your.
Well, yeah,
rival.
I'm just saying.
Or
I'm
enemy.
just saying from what I'm looking at for the like going into this and everything is, I feel like the two ideas would be very strange to each other because it's like my vision of life is, I die performing what I'm supposed to do, and then I'm reborn to continue what I'm doing. Whereas yours is, I'm dying and it's honor and glory to die in the best battle that I can do. And therefore that's going to be like going to Valhalla, like Viking style. But it's like, so you're seeking that. To me, it's like you shouldn't be seeking that. You'd be seeking life.
I just can't wait until Hela goes down to just the piddliest minions, and I just roll really well, and it's like, well, you got killed by this one wound thing. Sorry.
Doomseeker died to a staph
Nope.
infection.
Nope. See, then I'm gonna come to you because I don't want to die that way. I'm gonna be like, heal me, fix me. This is
It's not my time.
not honorable.
And I'm going to probably berate you. Then why did you jump into the spears?
All right, Daria.
I'm gonna choose as my rival, Zabulka.
Zabolka.
Yep, he is a
I love that.
a skink star
I love that.
priest.
You see that
Are you
last
making
message?
this
No,
stuff
it
up?
was-
Where is
it's-
this coming
I
from?
found this in a little backstory.
No, I just found it. Your dishonorable death is somebody who just said it. You fall 10 feet.
Oh my god!
Dishonorable
You're
death.
like
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your
you're
cow.
like on you're like on Soil's shoulders and like you
Oh my
just like fall off.
I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure fall damage isn't that bad in this.
Aw.
Yeah, WFRP.
I'm pretty
Yeah, you
stocky,
kill
too,
literally
like,
lineages of
I-
people by falling down 2 steps. But
I'm
How
gonna
do you
look
want to
that up
die?
while
I
we
want to
hear.
die battling the greatest demon. Oh, falls off the cliff.
All right, so we kind of missed what Rachel was saying there. What is a skink star priest?
Yeah, I don't know. Of Seraphon, apparently that was like the jungle outside of Anvilgard.
hell yeah.
And
Okay.
after the Necroquake, their army came in to like save the people in the city from all the skeletons and all the like undead beasts that like came up.
Okay.
And they did, but then they
Seekers
didn't
are buff
leave.
emos.
And so he, like took
Aw.
over
Dude,
the city.
seekers are buff emos. An emo who's gone to the gym.
Not emo. It's not it at all.
All right. So what was it? Why is this skink your rival or
Oh,
enemy?
because he took over Anvilgard, and he won't leave.
Ate all of her eggs.
Oh, he took over Anvilgard and won't leave.
Yep.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so you see it as the Seraphon kind of took advantage of the Necroquake
Yep.
to move into the city
Yeah.
and kind of take over,
Yeah.
and that was your home.
Yeah. So
All right.
Now I'm mad.
So do you have like
I think
a bit of a
one-
prejudice against Seraphon in general, or just this skink?
just this guy.
Okay.
Because Anvilgard kind of was a place of like no rules, and now he's coming in and trying to establish some rules.
So you might also have a predisposition to not like people that kind of like usurpers.
Yeah, in position. Yeah.
All right. All right, so I found it real quick. Falling damage is you take 1 damage per 10 feet fallen and knocked prone.
You got to up it up to about
So I was
100.
gonna say, gotta fall 100 feet.
Yeah, so I think you have generally.
One of them's gonna push me off a cliff, and it's just
Yeah, what are the toughness of these characters? So I feel like if you fall 100 feet, you take 10 damage. That's a lot. Because like, let's see, Hela's toughness is 7.
Are the Seraphon part of Order?
Yes.
Oh.
So they're sent like they were used to be lizard men.
Yeah.
They're called Seraphon now. They're really interesting because they have a couple different ways they can manifest.
Are they
can be
playable?
There are two archetypes for Seraphon. You can be a Saurus or a Skink Star Priest.
Oh, dope. Okay.
They're in the Stars and Scales. It's a PDF only still. Publish. I mean, if you're really interested in one of those, it's probably not too late, but
No,
I don't know if I can handle a skink named Doug.
I'm pretty committed to the Pete Davidson bit.
Oh,
Well,
no.
it would
Oh,
make-
no.
It would make our relationship pretty tense. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh.
did we get all the
Seraphon
rivals?
Can't be soulbound, but they start with higher stats.
Yes.
That's-
So similar to the Stormcast Eternals, they don't join the Soulbind. They don't go through that ritual because they're
Yeah.
so connected to the Seraphon stuff, because they're like, they can be like manifested, sort of like demons. They kind of come from a different area,
Oh.
a different plane, and they're manifested by the Slan.
Huh.
Sort of. There's a lot going on with the Seraphon. All right, so the next, did we hear everybody's rival? We had Megan,
Megan.
Ella,
You have to say it.
Undisclosed,
Oh, I don't
and the
think we
Skink
heard
Priest.
Soils.
About what?
Yeah, Soils
rival?
is
Oh.
Ella.
No,
It's
it's
Attila.
not anyone in particular. It's just people who just, in my eyes and everything,
wanna
are
die.
wasting their life, not living life to the best, and also technically going against and ruining the natural world. So
Okay.
So if you're out there just like burning
Littering.
things down the forest and everything else, like I don't
Tossing
like
my
you.
snack wrapper on the ground.
Yeah, I'm not polluters. No.
Done. All right, the next one's a fun one.
This tree fights back if you try and bulldoze me over.
For real. What is a secret no one else knows? So this is something I know earlier Jess was saying she wants to keep this a secret even from the rest of the party. You can divulge it here if you want. You can just put it on your sheet if you want. If you think it's a secret that you'd rather potentially come up during play, as long as it's something that will affect your character in some way. So it's up to you if you want to talk about that now or not. Because if you don't even want the party to know, I like that. That's cool.
And my biggest secret is the reason I became a Doom Seeker.
Right. But I don't think Jordan usually talk about that openly. But if these are your only friends and family, I'm sure it will come up at some point.
Maybe.
Does anybody want to reveal a secret or?
Doug actually really secretly likes being a soulbound because he has some direction now.
Okay.
Um,
Gave him some kind of purpose when he was just
yeah,
doing
but he'll
whatever.
complain about it all the time. But having a place to be, having a purpose actually feels really nice. But
Okay.
always lie about that as much as possible.
Naturally.
Yep.
Even though you didn't take that talent.
Effortlessly. Yeah, I put effort into it. It's acting, Dan.
Right. It's not effortless because you got to try. Okay. Any other ideas? Or are we keeping those close to the vest? As they say.
I don't have vest on my character sheet.
She says, acting. While we're thinking about that one, also the next question is going to be, what is your worst fear? If you want to kind of think about that one as we decide about these secrets.
I don't know. These are hard.
My worst fear would probably just be dying without honor. Since
Yeah, right.
that's my biggest goal now, my biggest fear is
That makes a lot of sense.
my
yeah.
biggest fear would just be, going out
And
because of a bug bite or something.
Oh yeah.
End of every combat.
Malaria. That'd be a tough one.
what did you major in at your stabbing
know.
school? Was it theater department?
Business, unfortunately. Cord in chat says a skink star priest named Skeeter.
All right, so any other ideas about secrets or fears?
Biggest fear.
What is your worst fear? Says fear is a constant in the mortal realms. Fear of starvation, fear of death or undeath, fear of what lies beyond the walls of the city. There's something you're afraid of, something that creeps into your thoughts in that moment just before you lay your head down to rest, something that makes your skin crawl and leaves a sick feeling in your gut. Maybe you have a fear of creeping insects. Maybe you fear the ocean itself and the horrors that lie beneath. Yes. Or maybe it's just not death you fear, but the rebirth you must be forced to endure in the God King's name. That'd be more if you were. That's more specifically for a Stormcast, but. Yeah.
Marsupial just said, I'm afraid of drowning. It's not relevant, but I just wanted to reveal a fear in this safe space.
Legit.
Valid
Drowning
fear.
sounds terrifying.
Valid fear.
Yeah.
what is it? Thalassophobia? Definitely something I have. Like fear of
Deep
big,
water.
deep water and like what could be in it. Ugh, I hate it.
What's the
yeah,
one?
I don't love that.
It's like tryptophobia or something with all you're
With all the
scared of
little
all the little holes.
That's what I was
yeah.
thinking when you said it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
That one gives me chills down my spine. Like, oh,
Biggest fear
for Doug.
for Doug.
Doug's biggest fear is being poor.
Honestly, I mean, that does sound really bad. I don't know. I think there's probably something more deep seated there.
Maybe if your
Like,
your biggest secret is that you actually are proud of being a soulbound, maybe your biggest fear is like failing as a soulbound.
Yeah. Or, yeah, irrelevancy or something like that. I think would probably be Doug's biggest
Mhm.
fear.
That makes sense.
So that
Well, because he's destined for the stage, right? So like,
so I mean I like that as a character motivation though, because that could really push you to do like big grand things. Like I can't fail as a soulbound, so I need to take this risk.
right. Well, it's not proud of being a soulbound. It's a relief
Oh,
of
right,
having
right.
of a purpose.
Okay. But you need to fulfill that purpose, right?
Yeah.
How does that
I'll
manifest?
get around to it.
We got Soil and Daria. What are your fears or secrets?
I have a secret, but I'm keeping that one.
All right. You got it recorded. You can always those of you that are keeping your secrets, I do want you to message me.
Yeah.
You can message me directly on Discord or whatever what your secret is, so at least I know, so I could potentially build that into the campaign.
I don't know.
And we could kind of come back to that if you have a little bit of a block. Or other fears? Does Daria have a fear?
I think maybe since I tend to like have this aversion to authority, just like the fear of like one person or one power finally being able to gain control of everything in the realms.
Okay. Interesting.
That would be the biggest fear.
There's safety in chaos.
To a point, yeah.
There's freedom in
Mhm.
chaos.
Oh. And that's a dangerous line to cross
Yeah.
because the forces of chaos and order are very real things in this, right? You know, and that's kind of like Sigmar's thing is essentially reestablishing the hold of order on all the realms after chaos took over during the age of chaos in the distant past of the mortal realms. So like it's interesting to think about how does Daria feel about Sigmar trying to reclaim all of the realms in the name of order? Is that okay? Or is that like,
I'm not sure.
Did we hear a fear from Soil?
So I just came up with it, and it kind of goes back into it. It's afraid of being lost and forgotten.
Oh, no.
Or found by an axe.
Well, I mean, tree, yes. Fire, bad. Axe, bad. Burning axe, bad.
Burning axe, real bad.
Real bad.
Okay, so as a soulbound, that fear is very real and possible,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause if you die, your soul pod doesn't continue.
yeah, so it's kind of like somewhat already living my greatest fear right now through this whole thing, because it's like, shit.
It's that constant. you're especially as a soulbound, you know you're going to be getting into deadly encounters and things like to have to deal with that every time. But that really goes along with your healing abilities and whatnot.
Well, yeah, it's that, and then like I said, and I'll skip ahead and say technically that goes back to the desire, which is I desire to return back to my natural order of life. Going back to being able to able to return.
So maybe find a way to
Yeah.
end this. Okay. I like you went on to the next question there.
Yeah, I already
which
looked
works because
onto
we
it.
heard all the fears. But yeah, what do you desire most? You desire to return to your glade.
To return back to being able to my glade, to be a part of, to be back to what I'm supposed to be doing essentially, as well as being able to go back to, I guess in a way, rebirth, because that was my natural part of my life, and now that's been taken away.
So remind me real quick, when you were chosen by Ilariel to be one of the soulbound, you saw that as an honorable thing, but also
Vaneth see that as incredibly honorable, but at the same time, it comes with a deep sadness because it means we will no longer continue. It is essentially, if you want to look at it in a real way, it's a death sentence for us.
right, yeah.
You know, if we fall and if there's no way, damn bug. We fall and there's no way to.
I thought you were just adding sound effects.
No,
for the
sorry.
fall.
That was for
I was like, oh,
emphasis.
we're getting into it. Okay.
No, is so for us and everything, for Sylvaneth and everything, it means like if we fall, if we die, that's it. That's period. Where we're so used to it's like, okay, we may die, but we will be reborn anew. That's done for me now. So that's why I figured it like that goes back to I feel like that almost makes me too basic for going along with the character, but you know, the being afraid of being lost and forgotten, you know, essentially dying and I'm never going to be able to return. And then I would love to go back to, you know, that natural order of my life. Because again, imagine everything that you're doing right now and all of a sudden you're just saying, nope, you can't do that anymore.
Well, and all of your family and friends from your grove will continue to do that, and you won't. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a major sacrifice that you have made for the betterment of the mortal realms.
And it's as looking back at the lore to go with this and everything, Alariel doesn't want to ask. She rarely asks Sylvaneth to do this because it knows what she's asking them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you were chosen.
yes,
So we'll see how. Hopefully that.
which again
is-
technically goes, why are you doing this? I was chosen.
right. So I just hope that kind of is shown in the roles that you're good at something. Because once we I don't want too many spoilers for the Vosheim's holdouts because we haven't released those episodes yet, but Mike struggled with that a little bit in that in that game. Trying to find something he was good at.
Here's a quick trailer. I'm dying still.
So what question were we talking about? What was it?
Greatest
What do
desire.
you desire most? So we heard soils was to
An honorable death. I
A
feel like my
fair-
answers
yeah.
are all
Yeah.
very easy, guys.
Yours are so heavily based on but your archetype is so much of what this character is,
Yeah.
right? So you're an honorable death in glorious combat.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tree puns coming into this, and I
Yeah.
also feel like Groot is going to be a big part of this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Soil.
not Groot.
Soil.
I am soiled.
I am soil.
Oh my gosh.
So also here it says your answer to this question, what do you desire most, is will likely inform your personal long-term goal. So soil so far is like to dutifully perform your chosen calling here, but also
Become
find a
soul
way to
unbound.
undo it
Yeah.
potentially. Whereas your Hella's long-term goal, of course, is to die in glorious combat.
Which is wrong.
You do get rewards for long-term ambitions too, but if you're dead, you just kind of return it, I guess.
Valhalla.
Just thought of the worst joke I could have for my character and everything as I kill a person. I'm trying to, thinking about it's like going back to life and everything. Return to soil.
Oh,
Pun.
that's really good.
Fame, respect, and notoriety. Greatest
Okay.
desires.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Just
fame,
that.
respect, and notoriety.
Yeah, that's all. Easy
He's
clap.
already got
Fortune
the
and
wealth.
glory, right?
Already
yeah.
got the wealth.
I don't need any more spoons. I have so many spoons right now.
Why do you have so many spoons?
Well,
I really like pudding.
it came to the outfit. Yeah. One's my caviar spoon.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do like freedom, but not like obviously freedom from authority, but also I think I have this like closet addiction to thrill seeking and adventure seeking, and so
Okay.
I'm like also trying to escape that a little bit. I'm getting a little bit older. Might be time to start thinking about settling down, but I can't
Settle down.
let go of the thrill
And
of
so
it.
you joined the soul.
I just thought of another terrible thing to go along with.
Like
Well, it'll
one
be like
last
my
hurrah?
one last
Being
hurrah.
also
Yeah,
afraid
exactly.
Okay.
And I don't make a
You know?
sound if I fall down.
We got a couple risk-seeking elves here. That's really interesting. All right, so the last question, so we heard that from everybody, right? Yes. Is why are you doing this? It says it takes a very particular type of person to venture out into the mortal realms and confront the forces of chaos, death, and destruction. This is one of the most important questions you will answer. It's what makes your character different from those that happily accept their lot in life. It is, in essence, what makes you a player character and not an NPC. So we heard from Mike Soil said they
I
were
was
chosen.
just chosen.
What it is that has driven you to this life?
Go do this.
Are you on a holy
okay?
crusade chosen by the God King himself? Are you fleeing from something worse, making this life seem safe by comparison? Are you doing this out of necessity for something you or your people need to survive? Was this a life you chose or was it thrust upon you? If you are soulbound, why did you choose to entwine your souls with others in service to the gods? Did you make a pact for riches or for your greatest desire or for more altruistic reasons? So we know this for Soil. He said you were chosen by your god. This was a sacrifice you were kind of made to make. We kind of know Doug's already. This is almost like a punishment for you.
Glorious death.
So did you seek out to become a soulbound because you knew that would be a life full of danger, Hella?
Possibly. I'll have to think on it.
Okay.
Probably.
And we kind of got an idea from that for Daria, like you're saying, looking for one last hurrah, but with some freedom to it, away from what you've been doing. So like as a soulbound, you're basically sent on missions. Like, here you go, here's a problem, go try to fix it. But like, you're free to go about fixing that problem whatever way works.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I definitely did this on my own. I wanted to do this. I was not chosen. I chose.
Right.
So
Okay.
So
you
you
sought it
as
out.
we're
you
yeah,
Hunger Games this. I volunteer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, yes.
She was outside at 5 a.m. with a sleeping bag, waiting for the soulbound doors to open up.
I'm typing out my story too as we speak.
I like
I get it.
That's good.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt and everything. For the background, do you want us to put everything in the background and including the secret that we don't want shared?
On Foundry, that's up to you how much
Okay.
you want to put in Foundry.
Okay.
For that, I don't think other players can see each other's character sheets.
Okay.
But that's up to you if you want to type it all out there, or kind of have it in your head. Take notes how you want.
I've got it.
Right.
I've got double stuff going, so that way I know exactly what I'm
Double
all
stuff
doing.
in my favorite type.
Have you tried mega stuff though?
No, I haven't. I really need to.
Yeah.
So with Daria, I keep having to think Daria, but not. What do you think is your long-term goal or your ambition that's driving you here?
I don't know.
Alrighty, that's fine. I think at this point we can think about that as we do the finishing touches to the characters. I think those of you that input your archetype on Foundry, or it should just calculate for everybody, and then we put all the stats in. I want you to double check that it's calculated your derived characteristics, your melee, accuracy, defense, toughness, wounds, all that.
How would that normally be derived? Like, what's the...
So your melee, like what you are on that ladder, good, average, all that, is your body plus your level of training and weapon skill. So a couple of us are going to have a pretty high rating in
So
melee.
the number that it puts after it, it says like good 3. Does that mean between those stats you have 3 things, or?
2, 1. So it's like the third level of it, right?
Gotcha.
So that means
My weapon isn't showing up. Why is it?
so what your
Weird.
stats, because your body is 3
Mhm.
and you have 2 training in weapon skill.
Oh, that's probably because.
So is it more
So
like a
it
grid?
should be good.
Yep, it is good.
Is good.
The one thing that won't be derived would be that
There it is.
that faction background thing where when I do my defense, I like add in my reflexes.
I
or
gotta double
something.
check how that does. I don't understand the mechanics of that one because
Yeah.
that seems like it would catapult your defense way up there. So I gotta double check how that one works exactly.
I don't think it
Need to
would, because
read
it would only
into
be
that a little bit.
effectively one more, because I have just 1 training in reflexes.
Because right now your average is 2. So I think we could. You might be able to change that. It might be, maybe not because it's derived.
Maybe there's a bonus, so I get a
Um,
bonus of 1 maybe? Would that do it? And then it changes to good?
That could be it. Because that was under bio, right? Yeah, because that's not gonna update it directly. Yeah. Again, kind of playing around with Foundry here.
Yeah.
We'll get it figured out. I do see that you changed it to good. Oh, that's bonus right there. I got it. Okay. And then your accuracy is your ranged ability. That's your mind plus your training and ballistic skill. So it looks like that's all been calculated, which is nice. Your defense is your body plus level of training in reflexes. Oh, I see. So your subfaction thing just also added what else? It was reflexes plus devotion.
Reflexes or devotion.
To add your body plus any levels of training in reflexes and devotion.
Oh, okay.
So do you have devotion?
I didn't.
Yeah, you don't currently.
But I would probably change something around, especially now being from Temple City or whatever.
Yeah. So again, we said before that we don't. It's not set in stone just yet. So I'm gonna.
I also don't have anything in entertain, and obviously.
So this should be automatically just carried over.
It should be. I'll double check our character sheets, make sure the numbers make sense, and values make sense.
Because like right now I have melee, even though I've got in for my stuff. Like I put it so that my weapon skill, I have both training and focus in it. Body of 2.
Right.
But it only has my stuff at average of 2.
So like your weapon skill, your body is 2, or your body's 2, weapon skill is 1. So that should be 3. That's why it's average, because you have 3 points.
Oh, okay, gotcha now. I see what you're talking.
Yeah, that's what the I don't know, the parentheses says 2. I feel like it should be.
Yeah, my screen's a little weird because I'm also looking at.
Yeah.
I know my.
And 1 to 2 says.
I know I can't wear armor, but I have a natural 2 toughness added on.
So the number 2 might just be what step it is on the ladder, because it goes poor would be 1, average is 2, good is 3, great is 4, superb, extraordinary, so on.
Okay.
All right. So your accuracy is also average. Your defense is poor, because that's your body plus body plus reflexes, right? So that makes sense because your body's only 2.
Yeah.
So those look like they are calculated correctly. Then it calculates your toughness for you. Your wounds, everybody defaults to 4 wounds on the track. I think our Dwarden, Hella bumps up to 6 because she's Dwarden. And metal is you have 1 as you spend it. You gain more. You gain it every round in combat. So why do you have 2 bonus toughness soil?
Because of my natural thing. What is it called? My race bonus, which is natural armor. Base armor is 2. No armor can be worn, but I can be reinforced. My skin can be reinforced with certain items, and I automatically repair it after I rest.
I don't. So that'd be to armor, not toughness. I don't see that species bonus on your sheet though, so I'm just going to add that bonus too to armor instead.
In the when you're looking at the races.
Oh, but I think did we type in
species bonus? Sorry, species bonus. Natural armor. Savannah's body is made from bark that is suffused with Alariela's magic. This hardened bark is able to resist some of the damage dealt by blades, bullets, teeth, claws, and other weapons. Your base armor is 2. If your natural armor is damaged, it regrows and is repaired after your rest. You cannot wear armor, but your natural armor can be reinforced. See Iron Bark Oil.
So I think that might just be a mistake in Foundry, because I just dragged and dropped Sylvaneth to your species spot, and it gave you bonus 2 toughness again.
Okay.
Instead of armor, and I'm not sure why it's doing that.
So one thing I found in the effects tab, you can create a passive effect that will apply to your stats.
Oh,
so
cool.
For my faction thing, I went in there and was like, oh, it affects my defense by this factor, and you can just kind of turn it on or off.
Because I still feel like it's calculating toughness wrong, because toughness is your body plus mind plus soul. So yours should be 8, not 10. I took away
That's why I'm thinking that bonus is that.
I'm not sure where the extra 2 toughness are coming from, because your species bonus is to armor, not toughness.
Is there a way that I can just get rid of it?
So that's something else we'll have to look into. I mean, I think I can just change it to -2, maybe.
So toughness should be body, mind, soul put together?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
So everybody should be 7 or 8.
Okay.
Okay, cool. What other derived ones are we looking at? Wounds should be set. Initiative should be set.
Accuracy and damage, but I'm poor with my defense.
Initiative is equal to mind plus training in awareness and reflexes. So again, that should be calculated. I see a number there. That's good. Natural awareness, I'm going to write that down real quick.
Is that kind of like passive perception, natural awareness?
Yeah, so like I have things in the adventures that are like any character with natural awareness of this will notice this at this time. So
That's
I'm going to put
cool to automate some of that type of stuff.
natural awareness. Soils 2. Anybody else, let me know what your natural awareness is. I see Doug is also 2 under the combat tab.
I have 1, I think.
Mine
Yep.
also shows 1.
Okay, so you have 1 or 2 natural awareness.
What should initiative be equal to again? Mind and...
Mind plus training in awareness and reflexes altogether. So like I see Hella's only 1.
Yeah.
Because your mind is 1. Yeah, reflexes and awareness. That makes sense. Yep, you don't have any trainings in those. Okay, so I think we are good with character creation. All right, so one last thing I want to do actually before we move on, I just got to find the table, is some connections between the characters. I think is really important and add some like starters for interactions between the party. So I'm gonna have everybody roll a d6 here. So roll 1, and then so these 2d6, but they kind of keep them separate. What is the first roll? What is the second roll?
Oh, okay.
63 or 6 and 3.
So 6 and 3 is so you're gonna fill in the blank. Blank and I spent an entire night talking and sharing stories. So let's say that you've been together long enough to travel to where we're starting this adventure in the realm of fire in Akshi to a place called, I lost the name, Fort Festermere, where there is a realm gate to Gyron, the realm of life. So on the way here, you've got to know each other a little bit. At least you know each other's names, whatever you feel like your character has divulged about their background and whatnot.
Okay.
So one of those things, Doug, who do you think that you spent an entire night talking and sharing stories?
I'm going to roll a d6 and do 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. Me and already forgot your name. Hella.
All right, so maybe you are a little bit closer than you are to the other people in the party because you stayed up all night sharing stories.
He is a poor lost child.
No, that's fair.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yup. So you see your maternal instinct is very strongly connected to Doug, which he needs badly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, Rachel, what was your role there?
2 and 6.
2 and 6. Blank punched me in the jaw once. I woke up a few hours later.
It was probably me, and you probably deserved it.
So if you want to think about that one for a minute, we can get each person's. What was yours, Jess?
6-2.
6-2. Blank found me face down in a gutter.
Oh God, it was probably Soil. Oh God.
And then
Soil was just shaking her head. Her, him, them, there.
Technically, I mean, the way the graphic looks, I'm supposed to be a girl, but it's
I
like they
thought
don't
I heard-
really have like
I
a
thought
gender.
I heard you say her. Okay.
So I think
Soil
it's,
was
you could
shaking
go by
their
they
head.
if you want.
I'm
That's-
pretty
Soil
sure
was
it's like a
shaking their
gender
head,
neutral.
Just,
Sure.
What the hell, lady?
I'm just walking along like.
And then what was yours, Mike?
I rolled a 2 and a 4.
2, 4. It's Blank and I have a song we sing. No one else appreciates the lyrics.
Killer tofu.
That's so good.
I'm like tempted.
That's
Tempted.
really good.
Oh shit.
So you
That's
think
kind of a
about
dope
did you,
nickname for a tree person, Killer Tofu.
Right. Rachel, did you decide who
Yeah,
punched you in the jaw?
It's gonna be Hella. I was talking down to her.
You have to. She's
I mean,
These
I
elves.
would punch you in the jaw.
she had to get a step stool first, but
So as Mike thinks about
God,
who it
you're right.
was that he
Flying leap.
sings with, coming up with ridiculous or maybe like dirty songs, whatever. If anybody wants to do another
hell yeah.
roll or
Yeah.
maybe even
Yeah.
3 here,
I like
I
that.
really like these to help get people talking to each other as characters in that awkward initial stages. So what do you got there?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. I hired Blank to help me with the job. And I would say for these connections, it really makes more sense to keep it within the party, especially since you're traveling somewhere you haven't been before. Doesn't really make sense to have these connections be with somebody outside the party.
Yeah. I probably would have hired probably Hella
Okay.
to, I don't know, carry my
I was
things.
just gonna say.
Well, we saw
something.
the lodge that you're part of, the Greyfired, are known as mercenaries. So maybe
That's right.
maybe
And I'm no
was
stranger
like-
to paying people to do things that I don't want to do.
So maybe like it wasn't you directly, maybe it was your family hired Hella as a bodyguard to get you where you need to go to become Soulbound, and then Hella heard about the Soulbound thing, was like, "Yo, I want to do that."
Yeah, that's dope. I was thinking it was my overstuffed luggage, but
Well, that was
works
part
too.
of it.
yeah.
I rolled a 6 and a 6.
I've promised to return Blank's body home when the time comes. So that could apply to a couple people
Wait,
here
you promised to return someone's body home?
when the time comes. So that could be like maybe after you got
That
punched in the face by Hella.
That wouldn't
You
be
talked
me.
about.
There's nowhere to deliver me to.
I think Daria would understand that you still have. You came from a lodge. If your name is Greyfired,
That's
she
true.
may have heard of it before, or maybe it's to return.
Soil.
Really, any of the other people.
To-
Soil's body back to the glade, or it could be to return Doug's body back to Hagnar. Could be any of them. So which one do you think you would have made that promise to? I like the idea of after Hella punched you in the face for talking down to her, you had like this heart to heart,
Yeah.
and maybe that's how you end up face down in a gutter because you were drinking too much while having this heart to heart
Yeah.
and just
Oh my
stumbled
God.
away and fell in the gutter.
Yeah, okay. Can be Hella. And
And
but
I'm
the
just
thing
All of
is,
our connections are
I'm
But
just
the
to
thing
I'm
is-
just
Hella.
here's
following.
the
I'm
thing.
following
Off to
her
the
because
den
I know
now.
she's gonna get in some kind of trouble.
here's the thing. Maybe the promise wasn't made to her.
Oh.
Maybe I know. Maybe my secret is I know something about her secret, and I made a promise to someone else.
Yeah, maybe. I like that. Depends on how much Jess is willing to divulge that secret to you.
Did you
Um,
read my secret, David?
No.
I sent
Oh, I
it.
have.
Yeah.
No. Wait, that's the wrong tab. Okay. That's why I have so many tags on Discord.
Oh yeah, I just sent like 5 messages.
I have 4 things.
Your secret's that you're actually 3 halflings in a trench coat? Whoa.
I mean, probably only 2. Honestly.
Anybody else have a second roll?
I haven't.
Oh,
I
I-
haven't done one yet.
I gotta do.
Or if you want to do a second roll?
Yeah.
5-1.
5-1. Blank hired me to help them with a job.
Well,
That
we
works.
already got that covered.
That works. Started reading Jess's backstory here. Hella's backstory here a bit. All right, so we got some connections, which I love. I love this.
I really like
con-
those. Those are cool.
connection.
I
or
was
this
gonna do
addition.
another one.
Let's hear it.
1 and 6.
Blank abandoned me when things went bad.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like that one.
Gonna be.
I don't know which one of us would.
I would. I would have
I
been
was
anyone
gonna
in a
say
heartbeat.
Doug, but Doug also is very devoted to this
But see,
cause at this
that's
point.
that's the whole
That's why I was
that's
like,
the whole funny
I don't
thing though is
know.
I already sat there and because it would just be funnier anyway because we already got the whole Doug theme going on. I was saying you and I sing the song,
Yeah.
but then so at the same time while we have that song, you also just abandoned me straight
I
up.
mean, yeah, we pissed someone off. I knew to leave.
Yeah. You take your little shadow and leave them behind.
So I have a love-hate relationship with you.
It's like
Very
any other game we played.
tumultuous.
All right, I'm going to give everybody a moment here to just, if you want to build off on these connections a little bit, talk a little bit about what your time spent traveling here to Fort Festermere in Akshi. After you went through the ritual together, let's say that you did it in Anvilgard, because that's also in Akshi, where Daria is from, and it took you, let's say, a week to travel here, partly by boat and then partly on land. And I will be right back.
Why do you need a pee?
Yes.
Because I need to pee too.
You gotta
was trying to be
announce it to
subtle about it.
Oh, gotcha.
So wait, what are we discussing?
We have to
Discussing how.
What our
talk
travel
about
was
what
like.
happened on the week-long journey.
Well, if we were on boat, I think that Daria here probably
Yeah, I
had a lot to do with that.
led the boat.
Boat
And
travel's awesome
in-
because there's no
In the
water.
process, I assigned you all a role on the boat, and now you kind of despise me because I just took the lead without really proving myself yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't know if I would despise
Yeah, I
you,
just
but
had a.
Not
really-
despise me, but you're kind of
who is this?
yeah,
chick?
who is
Who
this
are you
chick?
to take command of me?
I
just-
definitely tried.
At the very least, if we ever had a shipwreck, you had a life raft.
I think probably in these travels there was probably a lot of drinking. I
Mhm.
was found face down somewhere, I believe. Did I not write that one down?
Yeah, drinking, staying up late, and sleeping in. I think that's the perfect way to travel.
That's where you guys created your song together.
Oh yes. Oh my god, it was a drinking
It
song.
was a drinking
And that's why
song.
no one else appreciated it right there.
Trying to make up for the fact that, to get to the boat, there was a dangerous situation and you just flaked on me.
Well, I mean,
I do feel like
Listen.
this makes sense though if we all just were kind of relaxing and celebrating if we
Went through something.
went through
Yeah.
Yeah.
becoming soulbound and that sort of thing.
I'm actually curious and everything. With the whole idea that he abandoned me, he's trying to make it up, so we're trying to make this song and everything. But the whole idea that I found you face down later on and everything, what if it was you who ended up finding me after he abandoned me? The whole mother instinct. So it's
Sure.
I'm looking at you, I'm trying to repay you, but at the same time, it's you're off seeking death.
You also just want to keep me alive. You don't want me face down in a gutter. I don't want me face down in a gutter. That is not a glorious death.
Keep photobombing everybody's camera as I go by. Hi. Okay. What I miss? Repeat everything.
Revelry and relaxing and chilling on the boat.
So we feel like you are friends?
So what we just kind of said and everything else, to get to the boat, we went through some kind of a counter. This is where Doug did the whole flaked out on me at one point
Okay.
and everything, but we went through that toughness and whatnot, and that's what led to, okay, we're on the boat, all right, and we're partying it up, but before that, what's your character's name again?
Daria.
Daria? Sorry.
I got you.
Like Daria, but not.
Daria, since we're in her element more and everything else, Daria was like, I'm the captain now, listen to me. And we were all like,
Yeah.
really?
All right. I like that.
So after we went through all the heartache, yeah, we got to a point where it's all right, we're going to start partying up.
You're
And
partying
then
on
I
the
was
boat?
found face down in
Yeah,
a gutter
it's a
that
party
happens
boat.
to be on a boat somehow.
The gutter of the boat.
Well, there was other travel too, though, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it was a real gutter.
That's fine.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Ditch.
Did you decide who it was that you like to sing? Hey, you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
particular song
The
together?
song and everything. It's
Doug?
going to be fun anyway, because it's going to probably be the fucking Killer Beats or something like that. But we said that he's trying to do this song to make it up to the fact that he just flaked on me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Nice.
Comrades now.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, we're friends now, yeah! And I'm just like,
All right, good. So we have some connections established. You spent some time together. You know each other a little bit. Real quick, I do want to kind of set the stage for the adventure itself. But before we do that, I want to hear a little bit about how do you picture this character physically? What do they look like?
Oh, good.
We heard a little bit of the descriptions before we were rolling for eye color and stuff, but more we have the pictures of the archetypes in the books and whatnot, but obviously yours doesn't have to look exactly like that.
Apparently, I'm topless.
So obviously you don't have to be. You can have something. So how does your
and that made
character
for a
present
very
themselves?
interesting boat ride.
Oh my god. I'm also like a 50-year-old woman.
Oh my god! And with
Well,
the people that you
party
work
and
with, you got a lot of material to draw from.
Party.
Oh god. They're not. They're shoulder.
Gotta see, you know, gotta have it that Hello, you know, has too many drinks, starts hopping up on that table.
Oh my god.
Party.
Doug's probably just over here like,
Well, I'm a stocky little lady in her 50s-ish. I mean, I'm actually like 100, but that's in my brain what I'm thinking. Like I said, stocky. I'm 4'8". I gave myself copper hair and green eyes. My distinguishing feature is that I smell of smoke and ash. So
That makes sense
know,
with
I
those
just-
runes. Where are you?
You
So you
know
have the
what?
rune of iron skin and the rune of something fire.
I don't
or
remember.
Burning.
Burnt rage.
I don't give you extra melee stuff. I just forget what it's called exactly. Where do you have those?
I would say one on each shoulder. So they get even out.
Okay. Rune of searing heat and rune of iron skin. That's
Searing
what it is.
heat. Okay. Yeah. So I've got some nice golden like tattoo burn things on my shoulders. There's probably braids involved in my hair.
What was it? Copper hair, you said?
Mhm.
Is it long?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do the classic mohawk thing or no?
No.
So you don't have to, but
I don't think so.
Could be cool.
I'm just a stocky little Viking lady, and I don't take no shit.
nice.
she
I'm
gonna punch
gonna
you in
be-
the jaw.
Gonna be the mom, like I said.
All right. Do you have any tattoos? Did we say that? Or just the Urgold runes, kind of like tattoos?
Yeah, I was just thinking the runes.
They're kind of like implanted tattoos.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking others. I mean, I might have like I don't really have armor apparently, which
Right.
I don't really want, but I mean like some Viking looking clothing and maybe some like feathers and fur stuff.
Okay. So you're wearing furs, some feathers. Nice. So right now, soil, you have some branches with leaves and stuff on them, or do you
Yeah,
have like needles?
I did say like technically I would have like 4 branches in my head that kind of like resemble like a crown that almost looks like it.
Okay.
And everything, and I'm assuming like, cause being tree person, hair is more like foliage to a degree or something like that. So maybe if it's like what looks like, I don't know, like a weeping willow, you know, things for like
Okay,
the hair
or
that's
drooping.
coming down, that's drooping
I
down.
like that. That's cool.
And everything else, but then again, in the, like, so it's green now, but as we're traveling around, if we go into different realms, it changes based on what would be like associated season. So fire would be heat, so eventually it's like turning, maybe it's withering out, maybe the leaves are crisping to a degree or drying out. Going into colder areas, it's either that they're falling off and I'm just left with these, you know, bare bones things, or they're changing into like fall like colors and that type of stuff.
Nice.
And then I would say, like, I mean, I'm an 11-year-old, 6-foot tall tree that's only 240 pounds. I can't really be like super huge and stocky. Like,
So that's kind of to you. What is your?
I would
so
figure
you
it's
have a
probably like gotta be
humanoid
like
form.
like, I mean, I'm probably like bulkier than would be a typical person, but at the same time, not like actual tree trunk type
Right.
looking thing.
Yeah, because you have a humanoid body.
You're
Yeah.
Right.
sapling.
So are you like? Would you say you're like svelte? Are you? Would you? So if you were a human, if you had a human body, would you like look lean? Would you look built? Would you look?
I mean, probably be lean looking because I
Okay.
mean, when I'm trying to like think of this like if you're comparing it to, I'm thinking maybe like 240-pound tree, maybe that's something that's like an oldish,
Like a birch tree.
yeah, something like that, like
Oh,
an
yeah, what does
oldish
your bark
birch
look
tree or.
You can't
Oh.
just ask them that.
I can't.
Oh,
I'm the GM.
well, I mean that's the other. There wasn't anything to actually say what like kind of bark coloring that I had. It
Yes,
just was
that's up to
simply
you.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe be like birch tree like and everything. So I'm like got that nice like slender image and
Slender.
everything else.
So you have like that papery looking bark.
Could be something like that, or at least that like that paleness
Okay.
and everything. It's got like the splotches to it.
And I see your weapon is a great wood scythe.
Yes.
So is that something you carry around, or is it like, can you like stick it to your body kind of thing and like take
I'm
it
feeling
off
like
a
I'm
branch?
just like walking with it like a staff. You know, it's kind of like a walking stick along with it. So I just have it out.
Very cool.
Because I mean, like, I'm not allowed to wear armor, so how am I holding this thing on my back or like anywhere like that? So.
And the image in the book has the branch which looks like they're wearing like a tabard of big leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Does your stuff take the form? Does it look like clothing at all, or is just
I don't know how to really. Like, I mean, I would assume like there'd be some kind of like garment looking type deal.
Okay.
With some of it and everything. I don't know if that's just technically a part of my body that is just grown.
Yeah.
And everything. So maybe something that looks like a cloth that's like covering, I don't know,
Your loincloth.
loincloth, or like it looks like there's some kind of like, I don't know, like half dress type deal. I don't know.
like a toga?
Kind of thing like that, and it's just kind of like off to the side or something like that.
Cool.
But I do also like the idea that Skitter would just be like draped around me, like he's just like hanging around on me, like a
Right, because the
frickin'
picture
boa.
in the book is of a bitter grub, I'm pretty certain, and it's a much bigger creature than you'd think. It looks like
Yeah.
a big snake that's an
Yeah,
insect.
so he's like probably like wrapped around my waist and up around me and everything else, like just hanging around me.
So last question for Soil. What color is Skitter is the bitter grub's name?
Skitter, yeah.
Okay. What color is Skitter? Does that also change?
No,
color?
I don't believe, and I don't even know if there was a color to Skitter. Was there?
That's just up to you. What color do you think your bitter
Oh,
grub is?
well, if it's a grub and everything else.
Yeah, what's a bitter grub even look like? Is it just a big old fat little grubby guy?
Oh no.
Yeah,
this,
so
this thing's like a snake.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty big.
Yeah,
It's a snake.
It's not just like a
Slithering
fat
little snaky snake.
page 75 of the core book has a picture of a typical branch. Why can't I say this? Branch witch with a bitter grub, and it's like a 6 foot long,
Worm.
kind of
Yeah.
like segmented,
Spined
Oh.
covered
almost.
worm. Yeah, with a big old bitey mouth.
Oh,
So
it's
pretty-
got a
they're pretty
parrot
cool.
face.
So you know what? I actually like the coloring on it. So we're just gonna say he's got like that weird red to blue light coloring on his shell. There's exoskeleton type deal.
Ooh, okay.
I wanted your grub to be just a fat little
He's like a.
guy. Yes.
He's like an armored centipede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about
I take back my greatest fear.
It's that.
it's the bitter grub.
It is
It's a bitter
definitely that.
When you and I first met and everything, it's like, oh, wow, oh, wow, treat. And then
What is
this thing
that?
just crawls around me. It's like, what the?
Oh my god, what is that? All right.
Hi, my name's what the?
Doug or Daria, how do you present? What do you look like?
I look pretty good. Pretty fit. I did the roll thing for distinctive features. I do have a septum piercing,
Dope.
Okay.
and apparently I'm also always snacking, and I think out loud, so might be a little annoying.
Oh
I'm
God,
tall.
that means you're gonna be just sitting there and just, you know, guys.
Yeah.
Great way to get to snack while you game.
You said you're 6'7", right?
Yeah, I'm tall.
Wow.
Corsairs
taller
are one of
than
the
me?
coolest looking. They have one of the best pictures in the book.
Yeah.
I think.
That is
They
a
have
dope-looking picture.
medium Corsair armor. So does yours look like a typical Corsair armor? That really jagged, pointy looking armor.
It does, but the material is like scaly.
Okay.
You know, like fish scales almost.
Nice. What color is it lacquered?
I don't know, probably like a dark steely blue color, but it's like a little iridescent, you know, so it kind of reflects different light.
Okay.
And I
like that
also
a lot.
have whatever this cape is.
Sea dragon cloak,
Yep, I have a sea dragon cloak.
which is again a classic from the miniatures game. That would provide extra protection against missile weapons, which it does here. So scales are woven into fabric, and the cloak can be drawn tightly around the wearer to provide additional protection from missile fire. While wearing the Sea Dragon cloak, your defense is one step higher when you are targeted by a ranged attack.
Dope.
So it just makes you better. So you not only is your armor made of scales, you wear this
Yep.
cloak of scales too. They look so cool. I love Corsairs. You have a repeater crossbow and 2 cutlasses, right?
Yep.
Nice. Doug.
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 Doug is
He wears a green sweater vest.
Sometimes he has a belt around his head.
And his
It's
underwear
super
on
reflective.
the outside.
Yeah. Doug is probably a little gaunt, sunken eyes. Looks like he probably only consumes coffee and cigarettes.
Gets an hour's sleep
Thank you
every
for
night.
not
Yeah,
Wrong.
exactly. Just perpetually looks tired. Fair skinned, but his hair has a lot of product in it. It's short and kind of in like a faux hockey type deal. And
We're going like
Yep.
with a mixture of like fuck boy meets like overworked person.
Does it
Yeah,
have like
emo
the
fuckboy is
frosted
pretty much it, yeah.
tips? You know, the frosted tips.
yeah, well, no, probably not on the road, but only so I can set myself apart. I'm a
Okay.
different Doug now.
Okay.
But
All right.
Doug
Now
of
you're
2 weeks
Soulbound,
ago,
Doug.
definitely frosted tips.
With
and,
illusions, you could just change that whenever you want.
Yeah, for an hour at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, wears that shadow shroud, pretty much like a hoodie. Hands always like kind of in his shroud pockets, I guess, if there's
Really
not
is
pockets
going
on
Pete
there.
Davidson.
Yeah. And yeah, fair skinned. Otherwise, acts like he looks a lot better than he does, but he wouldn't believe you if you told him otherwise.
What's his clothing like? Did you say that? Besides the shadow shroud?
Yeah,
Hoodie.
like a
Yeah,
tank
shadow
top and
shroud
tight
hoodie.
jeans.
Okay. Alrighty, so that is what our party looks like. We've spent some time together on the boat, traveling across land. You've gone through this ritual to become soulbound together, and your first mission is to head to the fortress actually called Fort Festermere. On the way there, you learn that what's going on is that you've heard that there's been weeks since a shipment has arrived through this realm gate at Fort Festermere from a place called Greywater Fastness, which is a major city of Sigmar, the Free Peoples. Like pretty much every major city, it's basically a big circle with a huge wall around it with all kinds of guns and stuff to keep it safe. And this place is really, the whole point of Greywater Fastness is to create arms and ammunition for the armies of Order. But it's been weeks since anything has been sent out. So essentially your job is to go to Greywater Fastness, find out what is happening, why are things not being shipped out, and try to solve that problem. See what the heck is going on. So you've been sent here to Fort Festermere, which is essentially just a huge ring wall with two gates, one facing east and one facing west. With a big road there, and as you get there, you see the place is just full of people that are kind of stuck. It says, you're welcome to Fort Festermere and Akshi by the standing guards. Inside, every free space is occupied by carriages filled with goods, cordoned herds of livestock, idle armed escorts, or huffing and puffing traders. You quickly learn these traders have been forbidden from traveling through the realm gate until the fate of the missing shipments has been confirmed. Looming over all these carriages is a massive iron-weld cog fort. See if I can put this into the Discord chat quick so you can all see what this is. In the world that was, of the old world of Warhammer, it was really essentially something known as a steam tank. Same kind of idea, except it's much larger and it has like giant piston-driven legs that it walks on. But it's basically a huge walking tank with a big old cannon on the front that is going to be your mode of transportation into the realm of life.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so I'm
This
already
looks
going
like-
home.
I've seen this before.
It's really cool looking. Think of like Howl's.
Are we in
Is this
Wild
like-
Wild West?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
the
that's
Wild
it,
Wild
that's
West
it.
movie. That's where it's from.
Not quite that big, but still a big thing. So looming over all these carriages is a massive iron weld cog fort standing adjacent to the fort's realm gate. It has 6 massive spider-like legs covered in black steel armor plating and trimmed around its edges with gold warden runes. Its crew are running around nearby making final preparations. The engines are running, eager to start. And you know this is what's going to be taking you into the realm of life to find out what is happening at Greywater Fastness. Why are their goods not being shipped out? There are a lot of cities that are depending on, especially ammunition that is forged here. And that's what we'll get into when we get to do this again. And we'll jump into the campaign Blackened Earth and try to find out what's going on.
Nice.
Not
Why
gonna
aren't
be
they
doomed
setting
at
out
all.
their guns?
What happens if I die a glorious death in our first session?
We'll figure something out. Yeah, they have things in here about like how do you get at somebody else in the Soulbound. We'll worry about that when we get to it. But
That's my job. I'm here to make sure you don't.
I mean, Soulbound is meant to be pretty high strength characters, right? So, but that also means that you're going to be fighting some dangerous things. So, character death is a very real possibility. But thank you everybody for joining and watching. Thank you everybody for playing. Awesome session 0. Cannot wait to get to know these characters more. And we will certainly be advertising when this will be happening again. We're hoping to have it be as regular as we can make it. But don't expect weekly or anything like that.
Yeah,
no.
I live 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess, for making
Yeah,
the
for
long
real.
drive. So thanks everybody for being here. If you're watching this later, make sure to to join us. Follow the socials to join us in different places, like on Facebook, to find out how to get access to our Discord, which is where the best place to learn what's going on. Check out us on Instagram as well, where all of our like advertisements go up at The Professional Casual, facebook.com/professional casual. Of course, Patreon is always appreciated, patreon.com/professional casual. You can sign up there for free to see our first shows of this with our playthrough of Fateful Night over 3 episodes, and we'll be putting out was it 9 parts of
Think so.
Vosheim's Holdouts there as well, as we get more experience with Soulbound. Also, of course, make sure to check out professionalcasual.com to have updates, and there's blogs, all kinds of stuff there to see all the other things that we do, including our Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay shows, a Grim Podcast, A Peril's Adventure, Settling the Southlands, and the upcoming Valley of the Doomed, as well as other games content we do, including Pathfinder 2nd Edition with the Lost Omens podcast, The Slithering, our miniature gaming stuff with Marvel Crisis Protocol and Shatterpoint. If you're here on Twitch, you see that we're here we did every day this week.
Yep. We will not be on Twitch for almost another week.
Right? Mondays, Taylor does his hobby hangout, painting models, and hanging out. And then Tuesday through Friday at 3 Eastern, Tim is there for his game lobby. We're playing all kinds of games, mostly Baldur's Gate 3 right now because it's
Baldur's
amazing. Tuesday at 8, we have, the Power Phase. We're playing Marvel Crisis Protocol or Shatterpoint. Thursday, we have Wait, Did I Roll a Wild, where we talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol or Shatterpoint. And then Saturdays at 2 Eastern, Ben from our other shows is playing through the Souls games, and he'll be adding some Souls likes and things as well. So hop in on the Twitch. Make sure to give us a follow. Subs are always greatly appreciated. But just being here and watching and checking us out is also greatly appreciated. So make sure to tell everybody about the Soulbound content, check it out, and otherwise we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.